I mean, I would say I'd say I know a lot, but I feel like I'm wanting to know like how I can learn quicker, like feel like I'm not like doing it slow. 'Cause like right now I'm doing like I'm learning like how to build like projects and everything. So like I'm doing like gnome code and all that, but I'm thinking as if like when I'm doing it, I'm really not learning how to like do stuff myself. That's like kind of slowing me down.
Okay,
Like,
so
what are
you're
your
asking
thoughts?
just how to learn better, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, basically, what I tell people is look, I take the minimalist approach and I say, look, I've taught people scripting since at this point, since 2022. So, about 4 years, I've had my scripting guide up. Then I had Scripting Secrets come out in 2023. And there's been a lot of things that I have learned throughout that time myself. Like, am I in no means the perfect scripter, right? In fact, I prefer
Yeah,
vibe coding, honestly, over scripting nowadays. But
for
what
sure.
I would say to you is try to actually build a real project. So,
Hmm.
a lot of the time, right, you're watching videos by Gnome Code, right? I know he's known for a lot of good content. But the problem
Yeah,
is, like, at a certain point, those videos they don't help you because it's just random disjointed stuff, right? It's not focused on
for
the
sure.
game you would want to make. It's like, let's make a tycoon and let's make an obby and let's make a simulator and let's make the new Slime RNG remake and everything, right? So really what I think propagates learning is starting your own project. So starting something that you would actually want to make, and then as you need information throughout the process, right? You already have the
Use AI.
fundamentals of scripting down, right? Do you have like the basics? Do you
Yeah,
know what a
for sure.
variable is, function?
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you know
Yeah.
the fundamentals. What I would say now is
It's just
start your own project and set a goal and then let
mhm.
the knowledge that you need for that kind of form around it. Like as you come up with problems, as you come up with things that need to be built in the game, that is when you learn something new. Like say you don't know how to use tween service to kind of pop a UI onto your screen. Well, now you can go and you can look up tween service information when that problem happens. So in my experience in scripting, it was not my trying to watch every tutorial on the planet stage that got me the furthest. It was when I was actually trying to build real things. And then I ran into bottlenecks and problems or just things that needed to be made in a game or whatever, like simple things like how to tween a UI up, right? And I would look up the
Mhm.
information. And this was back before AI, right? Now we have AI, so getting the
Yeah.
information is even faster. If you aren't vibe coding, like even if you aren't vibe coding,
Oh,
AI
no,
is
no.
very
So
useful.
yeah, so what I do is I would go through tutorials and if
Yeah, no, I think AI is great for that. Like getting a roadmap of how to make the game or how to improve at your scripting skills. It can kind of evaluate where you're at, what you're missing, your gaps. I highly recommend you do that as long as it leads to action because I know just as well as anybody who's like AI savvy or likes AI a lot, it can be easy to fall into a long chat GPT chat and do nothing with it. So that's the only thing I'd say is just make sure you're acting on it. Like AI is super powerful and like everybody wants to automate things with it, but it's really good for learning. Like we can all use it to learn faster, to get information instantly and not have to read through tons of documentation. You can just get the information in like a few sentences from ChatGPT, explain it in a way you understand. So I would keep using that. And yeah, man, I think that that's really where you're at. Like just shift into doing more of your own project, something you actually want to make. I don't know what that would be, but it sounds like you're kind of into the tutorial hell phase where you kind of keep watching tutorials beyond where it's needed. Yeah, that's really it. And as long as you, yeah, just, and a lot of people in the chat were saying be patient. I would say you guys are kind of overemphasizing patience. Like, just because he's young doesn't mean he should be super patient. Like, if things are taking forever, I'm somebody who thinks you got to adapt quick, like figure out what's wrong. So I wouldn't really, I would take that advice with a grain of salt. Like you said, you're 14, that's pretty young. So I would take that advice with a grain of salt. Like, a lot of people will tell you take it slow, right? But I would really question that, because slow people don't really get results, right? I mean, that doesn't mean spend all your time on scripting and every waking hour and that's all you do. By no means. I think you should have breaks. I think you should do other things. You should have a life outside of it. But try to learn quickly, right? Learning quickly is good. AI supports that. And if something is taking extremely long, that's kind of a red flag that you need to pivot and try a simpler game. Like, a lot of people will come up here and they're asking me, well, my game is taking forever to make. Yeah, you got to go even simpler. Like, oh, I'm making a simple simulator. Okay, the simulator is taking too long. Make something even simpler than that. Right? There's even simpler games. There's these dumb quiz games that have been popping up on Roblox. It's just UI. That's way easier. So there's always something simpler. I think it looks like people can't, as far as I can tell, people can't hear this on YouTube. They can't hear you. So I have to figure that out. I think I know the problem. Oh, what's the deal? Yeah. Yeah, but that's what I have to say to you. Do you have any last questions, or is that about it? Well, look, there's people are saying patience so you don't quit. Sure, but also don't be over patient to the point where you tolerate slowness. Yeah. Like, use the lack of patience to pivot and to find better ways to learn, not just to quit. Like, quitting would be the problem. I would agree with that. Build small systems that are interchangeable. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm still trying to figure out how to get these people able to hear you on YouTube. Are you guys able to hear him on YouTube? I don't think you can. It's not you. It's not you. It's not you. I can hear you. It's just these people on YouTube I don't think can, because it looks like it's not picking up on that. It's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. Why are there only 7 people? Oofy Boy said. Well, it just happens, you know. Timing, thumbnail, whatever. We're just gonna keep on going. But let's see. Like my test subject for the stream here. Don't worry about this. We don't have that many questions just yet. So let's see here. Video output capture. Maybe if I do this should be working though. What's going on? Okay, there. Okay. Audio output. All right, let's see. Yeah, this is being really annoying. This is why I hate Mac for streaming. Yeah, but thanks for coming up. We'll get the next person up. Let's see. Oh, I have to change this. I can't hear you. What is going on? All right. Yeah, but anyway, I'd like to say this. I'm going to throw this out there to everybody in the YouTube chat. So I don't think you guys can hear anybody coming up right now. But what I would say is, bear with me on that. But we do have a dono goal going that I would like to mention. We're actually $40 through that. We had a bunch of trolls yesterday. For some reason, I made $40 from trolls, believe it or not. So we do have that goal. So it's actually, let's see, 1 super chat, 2 super chat. I'm trying to set the new goal. Why don't super chat goals go between streams? Like, I'm new to setting goals. I used to think they were kind of a gimmick, but I'm like, I think that's a good idea for certain things people want that I maybe wouldn't want to do it as much at first. Like reviewing your games. So that's really what the goal is. If we get to $50 in super chats, I will review your games. And we're actually at $40, so we're literally $10 away. 10 USD, to be clear. Let's see. So we need, let's see here, 1 super chat, yellow and higher, 30 minutes. I'll host a Q&A. Review your games. Okay, there. So we have a super chat goal. Somebody's asking me, let's see, who is this? Tap water for real. Not Tap, the YouTuber Tap. No. He has a different name. May you make me a plushie? I mean, depends what you mean by that. Like a plushie and a pin, how would you do that? How would you go about it? How would I suggest scripting and making games on Roblox as a good side hustle for teenagers and kids? I feel like I can do it, but I have no motivation to start. Also, Roblox is falling off entirely. Roblox is not falling off entirely. That's a load of crap. A lot of people say that, but they just don't understand where the platform is actually at. Like, compare Roblox to where it was at in 2018. The top game had 70,000 players. It was Jailbreak. Now, Roblox has 500,000 players on many games at any given time. Often a million, and it's booming, right? You cannot say Roblox is not booming. It may have its dips, but it also has its peaks, and its dips cause people to assume, like stock traders do, oh, everything's going to hell, everything is bad, just because the platform dipped a little bit. That isn't true. Just because the platform dipped one time during a season where, mind you, it's school season right now, right? Just because the platform has a little dip in player count or you don't like the games on it does not mean it's dead. It doesn't mean it's dead at all. It just means it's having its normal peaks and valleys. So everybody overreacts to what Roblox actually does. Like, people will say, oh, it's dying. Since when? It's not dying. It's still here. And it's way more here than it was in even just a few years ago. Let's see. Let's see here. Okay. So we're going to take questions mainly from text because my Mac is not working, so I'm not going to take anybody who's raising their hand. Well, I'll take people who are raising their hand, right? But my Mac's audio is broken, so that's kind of annoying. You hand sew and you do have a pin maker. That's sweet. Yeah, if you did that, that'd be cool. And not like I would sell it or something. It would just be kind of a cool keepsake, but I would definitely appreciate that. That'd be sick. Let's see. I'm trying to make a game, but I have no Robux to advertise. How would I even get the game to the algorithm or get any players? You promote it on social media. That's what I'm going to be doing here soon because I have new projects coming out. We are going to be launching a game for Kick a Poop. So we have a game like Kick a Lucky Block coming out that we've made with our prototyping team inside of my company, Smarty Media. It's our first prototype that we're launching, actually, that my studio is releasing. And we have that going out there. So what am I going to do? I'm going to live stream gameplay of it. I'm going to live stream the launch. Should be tomorrow, actually. That might be the main topic because recently the main topic has kind of been like yesterday we did a stream with my friend Josh. We're making a video together a very, very long recording process has gone on for this video. It's a video about teaching my friend to make a game with AI. So that's going to be going out. We think it's going to do pretty well. It's going to get over, I would say, over 100,000 views. It's going to be a much larger video than my other ones because it's entertainment. Like most people on YouTube, they want to watch entertainment content. They don't want to watch educational. So by me choosing educational content, I'm literally sacrificing views to teach. So that isn't like an, oh, yay me, I'm so good for teaching people thing. It's more like that's just how it is, right? That's the content I preferred to make for the longest time. And that's the cost is, yeah, you get lower views most of the time. So that's just how it is because people want dopamine, right? And learning something doesn't really give as much dopamine as a Mr. Beast video. So let's see here. We got a new question from Scooter RBX. Yo, Smarty, I know the basics of coding, some JavaScript and Java, and this summer I want to learn Lua. Since I already know coding fundamentals, but not game scripting, what do you suggest I do? So if you know the coding fundamentals and not game scripting, what I would say is just pick up the fundamentals, pick up a basics guide. I have one on my channel. It's from a few years back, but it's helped a lot of people. The easiest beginner guide to Roblox scripting. It is still up to date. It wouldn't have anything that's really changed. More so as there has been additions to Roblox. A lot of people ask me that. Is this out of date? Has everything changed? No, it's not. Surprisingly, since 2022. But it kind of makes sense at the same time. Like, why would Roblox change all the fundamentals of development? They're not going to do that. So Lua U is still the same at a base level, but there's new additions, but you can learn those additions as intermediate stuff. It's intermediate content anyway. So no, it is not out of date. Thank you very much. So you can check that out, but if you want a newer guide, my peers, my fellow dev content creators also produce a lot of tutorials. I know a lot of people benefit from Brawl Dev's videos. It's a top suggestion that a lot of people have. So you can go ahead and watch those. There's quite a lot that you can gain from. And I mean, a lot of people will talk about, and I will all the time, is using vibe coding, right? Using AI to just do everything for you. That's a real thing, but we also forget when vibe coding exists, when we have Claude Code and Codex, that we can actually use it to learn, right? We can use AI to learn how to script. We can use AI to get answers to our questions faster than I could have ever imagined when I first learned scripting in 2020 or 2021. So if you're somebody who wants to learn scripting, you're actually in the best time ever to do that. It's just that now scripting skills at an intermediate and advanced level are getting less valuable. So if you're somebody who's like, I want to be able to code, right, by hand, yeah, that's good. It's good for your brain. It's good for being able to prompt AI better. But more and more, it's becoming less necessary, especially for simple games, to be able to script those on your own in the advanced and intermediate stuff. It's becoming less and less necessary. Why? Because of AI, right? AI is making it so that we don't really need to be able to code every last detail of our UI. We don't need to be able to code every last detail of that housing system that spawns a new house for our roleplay game. The bottleneck is shifting away from scripting to building. If we're talking about in-studio skills, Roblox development is more about building and modeling than it is about coding manually. If we're talking about manual skills, right? Building and modeling is what is going to take the longest amount of time now, right? Because you can vibe code your game in a day, but the actual building part, especially if it's complicated and you don't have assets pre-made and you're doing it all from scratch, that can take a long time. It can take multiple hours just to model one bus, right? I was making a game called Steal a Bus, and I released that. It's been around for a little bit. And that took hours and hours to just model what you would look at and call fairly simple buses, right? I had fun doing it. And that's kind of my problem right now with development. Personally, I I don't like the tediousness of building and modeling because I remember anytime I build just how fast it is to code, right? When you can code and you can get thousands of lines of code per second from Claude Code and Codex, or per minute, or per several minutes, right? It really depends on how fast it is, but it takes like several minutes to get thousands of lines of code. We'll say that, like several minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever. When you can do that fast, now everything gets compared against that. Now building and modeling feels pointless and boring, even though it is the highest bottleneck now, but it's because of that, because it's still slow. You can't have AI do it, not at a very good level. It can build a basic map, but it usually doesn't make something that's fully production ready. So when we're here and we're trying to make our games and get them to completion, we're really relying on the building and the modeling getting done. I think that you can release simple prototypes, and I've talked a lot about how building and modeling is not necessary as much as scripting, right? I've made a lot of videos about that. Like, building and modeling is something that people over focus on. Like, people think the map is what makes the game successful. And that's true. The building isn't what makes the game successful, but the building is what lets it release. And it is still somewhat important to the gameplay, right? I'm not saying when I make those videos that it doesn't matter at all, right? It may sound like that because of the way I frame it, but it does matter to some extent the environment the player's in, right? It matters that they can navigate it well. It's easy to go around. It's easy to find what they need to do. It also needs to look decently aesthetically pleasing where they actually want to stay in the game and it's not an eyesore burning their pupils out of their skull, right? They want to have something decent to look at while they're playing. So I have found in the process of making several vibe-coded games that I think, right, and I think the game concepts could have just been better from the start, but when you have the AI try to build the maps, it doesn't look good enough. Like, it just doesn't. And I think that was a reason why a lot of these vibe-coded games I dropped, or basically all of them, did not do super well. They didn't hold the players. I think that the builds were a part of that, right? So I was trying to over-automate. Hence why I've talked about recently, I'm working with a friend, or I'm aiming to work with a friend, right? Trying to find somebody who I know who's super consistent in actually building and actually getting on to do that, to work with me and actually fill that bottleneck of the builds and models, right? For my solo projects, for my kind of company, for my studio, which was kind of in the hobbyist trap, right? And yes, you can see here, there's been lots of problems, lots of things I've learned from, even recently in development. I'm not the perfect dev, and honestly, it's good when you can see the mistakes you're making and correct them, right? I fell into the hobbyist trap yet again with our recent brain rot shooter, which I've talked about on the recent streams. It's a very large game. It's very detailed. It has shooting mechanics. It has a lot of different guns. It has different brain rots you can earn. But the game just wasn't hitting, and we were developing this for months as a team with these guys I've hired from the Philippines who are programmers. And at a certain point, I just had to realize we got to cut this off. So what we've replaced it with since the last month is a prototype lane. So we have 2 prototype lanes, and one guy, Jesse, produces one prototype, and Mike produces another. We've completely stopped brain rot shooter. We've completely stopped that game. So we're no longer over polishing one game for months. And this will allow us to get out more projects, right? So now what we do is we have, 7 prototypes a month made by them. And then at the end of a 4-week cycle, we then decide, okay, which one deserves to actually release. So this is a way better way to work, because what we're now doing is making a lot of projects, selecting the best one, from our opinion, that we think could do well on Roblox, and then dropping it, putting it out there to the market. And will every single one succeed? No. But that is how you find something that sticks. Volume, right? Quality is an aspect. It definitely matters. But Really, we're in a time where volume is what is going to determine doing well on Roblox. I haven't had a decently big game in a while. Last time was 2022, 2023 when we had Jimmy games. They were meme games. Very simple games that decently blew up, right? And got hundreds of players online. Made us like 30 grand across the time of that group. I think probably more. I'm not in the group now, so I don't know the full amount. It's probably close to 40K now. And it still has a good trickle of income, surprisingly, even after like 2-3 years after the game's peaks. They held players, even though they were hyper simple, even stupid games like Poop Land and Sussy Imposter Land. And I talk about these a lot, and some people be like, "Oh, that's he's talking about Jimmy Games again." Well, yeah, because that's been my main thing that did well. Was it the absolute crown jewel of all Roblox development? No, but I definitely learned a lot from that. And what I learned was volume, right? Because I used to over polish things. And in my group, Volt Gaming Studios, which I started when I was like 7 or 8 years old, I would produce these projects. I was trying to make these masterpieces, and I would go so far as going to this place called the Group Recruiting Plaza with my cousin on Roblox. My cousin's name is Robux King 156 is his username on Roblox, if you really were so inclined to look him up. We also did Jimmy Games together eventually. Him and my other cousin, Jimmy, who's actually the face of Jimmy Games, they actually were the ones that I work with in Volt Gaming Studios. And Volt Gaming Studios was interesting because I literally tried to run a business at 7 years old, basically. Like, more or less. It didn't really succeed, obviously. But I was learning how to run a Roblox group and how to manage people at that age. And I think that it was funny. We would try to go to this game, the Group Recruiting Plaza, and this is a place where you'd get like a booth, right? And it's still up on Roblox, but it has a different name. The Group Recruiting Plaza was where you got a booth and you would try to promote your group. Now they're called communities on Roblox. But we basically did this thing where we would try to recruit people who would be devs. So we would recruit these people, and we actually got like 5, 6, 7 different people. And we actually built like a decent sized team of just other kids on Roblox. We were kids at the time. We were just working with other people. And it was interesting because then I would try to put them on these really big games, like these really big ideas, right? And this is where I learned what not to do as a kid, right? Do not try to make a giant battle royale game, right? We tried making this game called Volt Royale, right? Ha 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 ha. Volt Gaming Studios, Volt Royale. We tried making a game like Fortnite because Fortnite was popular at the time. It was like my favorite game way back in 2017, 2018. And we tried making that game. And I had like a guy who was like the lead developer, and we had like this map. It was a huge map. Was it really nice? No, but it was huge, and the concept was huge, and everything about it. We were trying to make it massive. Massiveness was the goal. And the problem is, right, I look back on that, and yeah, we can say you were just a kid, you were just messing around. Fair enough. But at the same time, it's a real pattern. Like, all kinds of devs are like, they're thinking the same way, and I can't help but see that anytime I see like a new dev who comes to my YouTube channel who's like, Smarty, how do I get started? How do I make a game? I want to make the next Rainbow Six Siege. It's like, you got to slow down, buddy. You got to slow down. I've been there, right? Because I've been there where you're trying to make something that's hyper complicated for the sake of it. But complexity isn't a goal, right? The goal has to be bounded. There has to be an end. So my prototype pipeline now that I have in my company, Smarty Media, which is like the company for this YouTube channel, and now I have like a game dev wing of that company by these guys that I've hired in the Philippines, Mike and Jesse, right? So that's my game dev wing. It has not released a game yet. It's about to release its first one. It didn't release a game because we were in scope creep. We had Brain Rot Land, our Brain Rot shooter, lasting months and months and months, and we decided it's time to park it. Right, because it didn't release. So, yeah, we parked that game, and it's now a focus on making a higher quantity of things. But what is the point of that? What is the point of that quantity? What is the end goal? Something that ends, something that stops, right? You have to stop at a certain point and be like, yeah, this game is done, right? And the problem with most developers, right, is we think, oh, the game is not done. And we think that for months and months and months, and then nothing gets out. Or it does, but then because we spent months and months and months, or years and years and years, we didn't release anything in the process, therefore we didn't learn marketing from our results, and then we have a flop. It doesn't get any players. And now what? You're left with just this flop game over that you've spent years on, when you could have released like 10, 15, 20 simpler projects in the process. So over the course of this process, right, I learned that simple games first is what works, right? Jimmy Games taught it to me, but it's also a pattern you see across Roblox. There's a lot of simple games succeeding. Does a simple game always work? No, my newest simple games have not worked. Why? Well, you can play them yourself, and you can see why, right? They're just not a concept that hooks, right, on Roblox. So I'm pivoting. I recently released, what is it? An astrology test. It was funny because I saw these quiz games on Roblox. I was talking about these recently on stream. So I loaded up Codex, and I was like, why don't we make one of these? Because it's just UI. That game is not hit, but you can look it up. It's under an alt. But that is a new game that I just produced. It's very, very simple. And that is an attempt at following the trends. But like the thing that I see about the quiz games, like if you've seen these on Roblox, they are the simplest project you could possibly make. Like, let's actually take a look. So I'm going to open up Roblox right now. Oh, what the hell is this guy sending in chat? I was sending the weirdest memes I could possibly imagine. Okay. Yeah, so that's kind of a recap of some of my history. Let's see. But let's open up Roblox. I'm going to do a screen share to YouTube. Let's see, macOS screen capture. Ah, yes. There. Okay. So I'm opening up Roblox so I can see quiz games. So hold on. Quiz. These aren't really what I'm looking for. I think it's more like tests, not quizzes. Test. So there's a bunch of people on Roblox who have been kind of making these games that are like really vibe codable. And some of them are kind of weird, like autism test, spirit animal test, gay test. Like, what? What are we even doing? How are some of those allowed on Roblox? Femboy test. Like, what the hell? What the actual hell? Some of them are kind of weird. Emo test, attractiveness test, gender test. Right, they seem stupid on the surface, but from a developer perspective, and I regret judging these because from a developer perspective, if I play these, right, attractiveness test, can't believe I'm playing this thing. If I play this, analyze your bone structure, what is this, like a clavicular game? It's like a looks maxing game on Roblox. Select your gender, male. How is your skin quality? Let's see. I would say it's mostly clear. Somewhat defined. Let's see. How's your jawline? Full, no recession. I don't even know. Let's say that. Slightly mature, but full. See, but it's just literally answering questions. It's just UI. And what do we know about UI? Right? Codex and Claude can't build, but they sure as hell can make UI in just a few minutes. So what happens is I'm just going to spam. I'm not even going to answer this real. It's going to say I'm chopped because I'm just spamming random buttons. But we're just going to try to get to the end because what the point of this is, how does this thing monetize? How does it make money? Well, the way these games make money is they have a skip. They have this thing where it's like analyzing your answers, even though it could technically analyze it instantly. So they make you wait like 20 minutes, and then you're able to get your answers. So this is like the most basic Roblox game you could possibly make, like physically make. Claude Code and Codex can make the UI. It can make this entire game in one shot, which is basically what happened. I tried making an astrology test. Does that logically make sense? Because astrology is based on month and year and whatever when you're born. Maybe, maybe not, but it's just trying to figure out, like, what sign do you align with? Which I don't think astrology is true. I don't believe in it at all, but I'll make a game on it. So I tried that, but really it's about quantity, so I'm going to be launching a few more. I released this under a second account called Siftamax. Yeah, you have to let things slide. Yeah, you do. It is hard about being a developer. You have to let a game slide by that didn't do well, right? You have to let go. So I'll often have to do that. Astrology test. All right, can I just get to the end of this stupid quiz? I do not want to play this. I do not want to play this. I don't know what my gonial angle even is. Like, honestly, God, I'm glad I don't, by the way. I'm glad I'm not like one of these looks maxing spurgs. Oh my God. Okay, so now, okay, here, it's analyzing my face. Mind you, it's never seen my face, so it's basing this on my quiz answers. Which, it's going to say chopped because I just spam random one. You're chopped. You're a 2 out of 10. So, but anyway, we have analyzing face. And it's the same thing in every single game, right? So, this will literally make me wait, even though it could give it to me instantly, technically. Like, if you think about it, the code of the game can give you the answer instantly. It's hard-coded in. It's not deciding anything with AI. It's fake. It's fake. But the way the game makes money is by making you wait, and then you pay to skip. So it's really just the simplest thing ever. And you can make a game like this with AI in like 5 minutes. Like if you have Codex or Claude Code, because it's just UI. Like there's no physical map. Yes, we saw a map for a split second. It's probably just a free model they added so you don't fall to the ground to your death when you join and have bugs. But that's literally it, right? So I think this is a genre where if you're looking for something super simple, this can work. But it's like I don't think these even have that many players, but their goal is just to have like a little bit of passive income or something. So I made one, right? I made, what is it? Let's see. I'm going to make more because obviously you have no excuse not to make more. Astrology chest. Let's see. And I sponsored it. It didn't do super well. And honestly, I personally do not know why. But I'm just going to launch out a few more as a test. Because I can vibe code these right away. So let's see here. What is hard about being a developer? Yep, we already talked about that. Sounds about right. Do you have any advice? Because I'm new to development. Willing to put in months. I've already spent over 3 months practicing scripting and building. Yeah, just focus on building and modeling, and then you vibe code very simple games. And then the same answer to this other guy. Like, it really depends what you actually want. But this guy is asking, should I learn Code or Blender? Right now, you should just learn to vibe code with Codex or Claude Code, and then should you use Blender? Yes, you should learn Blender more than you should learn Code if you're actually trying to launch games. If you're trying to be good technically, that's a different goal than trying to be successful in the market or launch projects. Just learn Blender at that point, and then get Claude Code and Codex. So like I would learn that first. So I already have like videos on that on my channel that you can watch recently. And then roll with that, right? And then use Blender to make the models and make the map and make the assets that AI cannot make right now. And that's really what you should do at this point. But yeah, so this was like a little sponsor test. I canceled the sponsor. I would have to check. I am going to check the CTR actually. Let's see. So I'm going to throw you back on Discord while I pull up the CTR, this sponsor. So we did a little sponsor on this, so you can just kind of see the data. Let's see. Create. that's not it. All right, let's see. This. Promote this experience. Then we got a. I'm still in the corner here. We'll move that. Let's see here. You guys on Discord could not see any of that because I was showing my screen. But let's see here. We got sponsors. It was on the alternate account. So we have this. Boom. Let's show you the sponsorship data. And then let's show you the analytics data and see what's going wrong in this game. Okay. Hang on. Hang on. Let's see. We got this. Boom. And then now everybody on YouTube will see this. You Discord people will not. Discord lurkers. The disadvantage of being on Discord. No view of the screen. So, let's see here. So we got, okay, $15 spent on this. And the CTR is not so good. It is 1.17%. 1,244 clicks. 32 cents, or no. 3 cents per play, 3.2 cents per play. And then 30-day Robux earnings. So I got 21 Robux in earnings. So if we actually go to this game on Roblox, let's see. This is the alternate account. Let's see. Sales. So a few people did actually buy the skip weight right here. So we got 3 sales on that. But the problem here, right, is sponsors don't really push your game in the algorithm. So this game is it's not in the algorithm at all. It is, and for some reason the playtime is only 0.3, which is a horrendous 0.35, which tells me there was some sort of problem. So I did fix one thing, which was after Claude Code and Codex made the, the UI. It was resized wrong on my phone. Like I lied down in bed and I finally tested it on phone. So a little piece of advice: make sure you test your game on your phone if it is aimed at that audience after you launch it, or before you launch it, preferably, not just on PC. Because if you just test on PC, it might be scaled wrong and you might be screwed. So I think that was part of it, is people were joining and the UI was way too big on phone. So I was like, whoa, this is in my face. What's going wrong here? So the playtime was really low. It might be because of that, but it also might just be that maybe some people don't like test game. I wasn't sure, right? It's also a really small sample size, so you don't have much to go off of here. I only ran that ad for like a day or two because it wasn't profiting, right? Obviously, so I'm running the quantity approach. I'm gonna try making a few more of these test games just for fun and just to throw something out there. And it'd be cool if one of them hit, but I mean, they're just kind of a really simple genre on Roblox. It's not like you make these to hit the front page. You make them because when you make a test game, it literally is the easiest thing ever. It's just some of them hit, some of them don't. Crush test, right? It has to kind of lean into their identity. They're like, oh, whoa, I better know. Crush test, start quiz. I better know something about my crush. Does my crush like me? Like, just such a ridiculous idea, but your crush hang out with you often. I wouldn't call myself having a crush. But okay, yes, always. They text you first, always. Make eye contact with you a lot, yes. I don't know. She hasn't seen that. My crush, yes. Yeah. Strangely, no. Sometimes. Yeah. Every day, yes. Yes, every day. Let's see, she seemed nervous. No. Repeatedly. They talk about a future with you in it. No. Why am I actually answering this seriously? The girl I'm saying is not my crush. So we both know we're into each other. So I just feel like so childish answering these questions. Do they share secrets with you? Yeah. They introduce you to your friends. Yes. Tease you playfully. Occasionally, they mirror your body language. I don't know. Know about things you shouldn't. I don't know. They look for you in a crowded room. I don't know. See, it pulls you in a way. Like, you're trying to answer the questions, but the real issue is, right, with these games, like getting back to the actual game. These games, the whole point of it is to kind of show you that this is like a bunch of questions, and if you're actually trying to answer these seriously, it's annoying when you get to the end and it doesn't give you the answer to your quiz, like the results. So it's like, what it's trying to do is it's trying to have the sunk cost fallacy. So now, if I leave the game, I lose my answers, and I put all that effort in. So I have to pay to skip. It's kind of like monetizing annoyance at not getting the answer. So it's just kind of an interesting thing. Like, people found a gimmick. Like, these games are kind of a gimmick. Yeah, they definitely are. But they found a gimmick, and they've leveraged it. And yeah, they're not super huge. But the funny thing about them is, they were showing up on my homepage, and for a while I just judged them. But now I'm like, now that I actually think about it, these are things you can vibe code instantly, and that's actually a real niche. Ironically, like, even if you don't like these, that is a real niche you can lean into. Ask for your opinion on things. Alright, let's just get this over with. Okay. Let's just get this over with. This is a dumb quiz. Let's get to the end. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Never. Okay. See? So I have to wait 5 minutes. So this is one of the more generous quizzes. So I would say that 5 minutes, that's a lot less than the other ones. It's like the other ones usually take about 9 to 10. So this one, honestly, I don't know if it's missing out on monetization because of that. But see, of course, they have the skip wait button. So it's 9 Robux, 10 Robux, 9 Robux. They usually, Roblox will do this weird discount thing, but that's because I have Plus. But it's a 10 Robux pass or developer product. And it is something that is just a super basic way to make a game and super basic way to monetize. So thought I'd show you that. Let's see. Do I have ADHD? Oh boy. See, you can even tell the icon here is made by AI. And yet it still has players. What do you know? Wait, how many players did this one have? Let's see. Not many. It has 6 active. So the thing is, right, like with these games, it is about the man, losing my train of thought today. What's going on, man? Let's get back to Discord. Let's get back to Discord. Dude, I want my friend Josh to get on here. I want him to talk about the video we're making. Let's see. Do we have... Remember the gay test? Yes, I do remember it, and I refuse to play it. Run from the evil David Bazuki. Yeah, we might have to play this one. We might have to try it out. You guys on stream can't even see that. It's beautiful. Did this just start? No. Roblox has declared itself a safe space for bad ideas and thirst traps. Roblox blocked 3 times a day. Amazing. You are really trying to open that, huh? Daddy, chill. I won't send them. Yeah, you better stop. Better stop sending these weird memes, bro. That guy's not even in here now. Arnold Farts. It's quite the name. I don't think people on Discord, I mean on YouTube, will be able to hear you. That's the annoying thing. We do have a dono goal, by the way. To everybody on YouTube, I will test your games. Either on this stream or a second one. And that is going to be once we hit $50, which is just $10 away. Hello. You have a question?
Hey, what's up, man? I just got a quick question.
Yeah.
Do you know where I can, I mean, besides like the dev forum, do you know anywhere I could find like decent builders I can maybe like ask questions about? Because I've been working on a map and I kind of want to learn like a bit more techniques and tricks. You know, I've already watched like videos on like plugins and stuff, been using that.
Okay, could you say that again? I totally spaced out. My bad.
Yeah, I just wanted to know if there's any like more builder specific devs like building like maps that I can like you can like direct me to, or is
So
this like
YouTubers,
scripting mainly? YouTubers,
You're asking about YouTubers that you can watch.
or like maybe is there like a community section in here, or like maybe any servers?
So are you looking for builders to work with? Okay, so everybody on stream, if you can't hear him, because I think my Mac is being annoying, he's basically asking where you can find builders. But I'm looking to find out what do you mean, like builders for what?
I'm not looking to find builders. I'm just looking to find more of like where the builder community is at, so I can sort of ask questions to them.
Okay. So if you want to ask builders questions, I would join. Honestly, the only building Discord I can think of would be RoBuilder's Discord server. That is if he even has one. A lot of dev YouTubers, a lot of people don't have a Discord, even though you'd expect them to. So I don't know if he has a Discord, but I would go there because that's like the first place that comes to mind. Like he's the #1 YouTuber who actually has his channel mainly about building. It is kind of a funny thing. Like there aren't that many people who have a channel just about building. So he's really found his pocket there. Of course he did years ago, and he's kept that going. And he's done good. And he's really one of the only ones doing that. So I don't know of any other Discord servers that would be just for building. But if you want more reach, like I would go to, if you are looking to find more people who you can talk to about building and ask them questions, I would go to other Discord servers. Like if you're struggling to find them in Smarty Devs isn't the biggest one. Like it's pretty big, but it's not the biggest dev Discord server. Like the biggest one, I believe to this day, is Hidden Devs, and it has been for a long time. So you can go in there. Like Hidden Devs is so big that most of the time if you go in there and you try to voice chat, there's actually like a dozen people in their voice chat. It's pretty crazy because they have like 150,000 people. So I would go there, but also Twitter. I always point people there. Like if you're trying to take commissions, and you're not talking about commissions, you're talking about meeting people. Go on there. Yeah. There are a lot of builders on there. There's a lot of good ones, and you can message them and you can ask them questions, or you can just try to have a conversation. Like if you send them a DM, some of them might be really enthusiastic about that if you frame it right. Like,
yeah,
hey man,
you,
like I think you're talented.
Apply?
Let's talk. Apply for what?
Like, don't you need to apply for the Hidden Devs Discord or something?
No, Hidden Devs is free. Hidden Devs is open to everyone.
Oh yeah, I'll go search that up.
Yeah, definitely check that out.
Take any more time.
I'm pretty sure the invite is literally HD. So you can give that a shot. Like
Okay.
literally just it's just HD and you can join Hidden Devs on
Yeah, I
Discord.
appreciate that, man. Yeah, I'll
Yep,
probably
no
bring
problem.
something more relevant next time. Yeah, have
Yeah,
a good one.
you too. Thanks for coming up. Okay. Yeah, Row Builders and Hidden Devs. He does have a server, I'm pretty sure. Hello.
Yo, what's up? So basically my situation is I'm finishing my final year of uni in computer science, and before, I don't know, I just kind of saw how much money can be generated through Roblox. Before I was into Roblox, I was doing Minecraft servers for about 5 to 10 years or so. I generated like a couple thousand from them, but to be honest, after doing it for so long, it's quite obvious the money's in Roblox. um,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, my
What,
questions
what do you need?
are is like, what would you recommend for me? Because right now my plan is to just learn the meta, see what people are doing, um, prove myself, and kind of work my way up through connections. Yeah, probably start a Twitter, start posting stuff like that. Before I was doing this, I was doing video editing. Um, did all right in that, but I think my main thing I'm good at is programming. So
Mm-hmm.
my main questions, I guess, is like, yeah, what should I be doing? What should I be aware of? Like, what traps do I fall into? Like, I want to take this proper seriously. I'm quite knowledgeable of AI and being able to make my own models to do my own workflows to just shit out a bunch of games. Because essentially, I'm going to be so real with you. I don't really care. I just want to make as much money as possible. And just,
I'm all for
it
that.
seems like the best way to, yeah, it seems like the best way to make money at the moment
Mm-hmm.
is through these brain rot games and to just absolutely shit them out. But from what I've seen, people are shitting out these brain rot games, but they're not getting them to the quality where they're just good enough to start doing well and unique enough. They're kind of just using these templates and not really doing anything more than that. Or like, there's always going to be people on Twitter being like, "Oh, I made this game and so," and they're just farming views. They're just farming clicks basically, which is fair enough, respect the game. But yeah, I was wondering, like, with building and stuff, like, why are people like making use of like 3D model AI generation as well as like texture coloring and stuff? Because I don't know, I'm a bit surprised if people are still like manually doing that when they can just use AI for that kind of stuff, like AI for everything. But yeah, sorry, two questions, but we'll go back to the start. What do you recommend me to do? What do you recommend? Sorry, I'll shut up now. I've talked
Recommend
a
for
lot.
what? Like for what
Well,
specifically?
just kind of like, what do you think of like uh my, I don't know, workflow idea? I don't expect to be making like obviously tons. Like I know you need to put in a fair amount. Like what would you say is like a good amount of money to put into each one of like these shit projects or whatever to get them started? Say I make like 50 games, right? How much should I be putting into each of them for like advertising?
Okay.
I don't know, like the APIs, do you know what I mean? All that stuff.
Yeah, so right now, like I've already said, and I think you've heard just because you've been here, I don't have a successful game right now. So I can't tell you like exactly how to do that. Like how do I make a successful game? But what I can
Yeah.
say is like some general precautions and stuff that I've learned myself like releasing games. So, and by the way, I don't know if on YouTube it sounds glitchy for you guys, but it is for me, at least in my AirPods. It might be an AirPods problem just hearing him talk. Uh, but yeah, just let me know. But anyway, to answer your question, yeah, you want to start with small amounts of money. So the problem I've seen with people before is blowing a lot of money on ads. Like back when we would spend Robux on ads directly, people would say on the dev forum or wherever, I spent 15,000 Robux on ads and now I have no money left. So I would not spend a ton of money at first. Like you want to spend a little bit. And I was just showing on stream a video or a game called Astrology Test. And I was talking about these different test games that have come up and my little attempt at one. I'm going to make more. And how the CTR was low, right? And I only spent like $15 or $30. Like I think I only spent like $15. It was for one day. And the CTR is low, so I turned the ad off. I turned it off because it was at one something percent. So Where's my dog?
Sorry, can I interrupt you very quickly?
Yeah, go ahead.
What would you say, like, what about, like, the difference between using the Roblox advertising system and hiring YouTubers? What are your thoughts on which one do you think's better, and which one should I be spending my money, like, ratio-wise, like, say, 30% on YouTubers to advertise it, 70% on Roblox ad revenue? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I would say that it depends, right? And that's the thing. It's the disappointing answer that a lot of people are going to get from me on a lot of different topics. It depends. It depends on the situation. There's definitely some places where YouTubers are going to be beneficial. We had a conversation about this in Dev Create. So really, I'm just going to bounce off the opinion of people who I think probably have more players than me right now. In Dev Create, I have a bunch of people who are like dev content creators. We're all developer YouTubers. And we talk about these things. We talk a lot about game success and things like that. And somebody had asked, do you think it's worth it to hire somebody to make a video about my game, right? And basically the answer was no, right? No, because they just said basically the cost isn't worth it compared to sponsors. That's what I heard from somebody else. I think this guy gets players. I think it might have been Call Me Doji. You can see him on YouTube. I think it might have been him who said it. But that answer is something that sounds pretty reasonable. I think that sponsors are pretty well fair priced on Roblox. It's just you have to have a really good icon and thumbnail, which clearly there was something with the astrology test. I think it was just the hook. It wasn't the thumbnail itself. I think people just don't care about that. That wasn't something that would work for a test, even if I thought it would. So it's good that I put that out there. Spent $15. $15 isn't much at all, so I didn't lose much. So I'm going to publish another one. I'm going to make a new test, and we'll see if that does better, right? And I'm just throwing different things out there in the market, and I'm not pushing all my chips in one basket. I'm not throwing $500 on sponsors on the first go before I know the game even works, which clearly that game won't work. So I'll throw it in the trash and I'll make a new test game. But really, so I would not hire YouTubers. I would focus on sponsors first. I think it's going to be cheaper too to just test it out. Maybe once the game's already getting players, I would hire YouTubers, but it's just not something that I think would be cost effective. Like sometimes maybe the answer that I gave when that guy asked that question in Dev Create though was, I said the one time I would see it being useful to hire YouTubers if there's a really niche YouTuber and your game is really niche. You're saying you want to make brain rot games, so your game isn't niche. But if you had one that was like a horror game, like, oh, I'm making the next Doors, I'm making the next Piggy, I'm making something super niche and super specific, and this guy, this Roblox YouTuber, he only makes videos about horror games, I'm going to go to him. That's where I would see it as valuable, because that whole audience is just focused on games like that. If you have a hyper-focused Roblox YouTuber on a hyper-specific niche, and your game is in that niche, then it definitely makes sense to hire a YouTuber, if you ask me. But otherwise, I don't think generally it is going to be more cost-effective than doing a sponsor. So I would do the sponsor first. I would add that in if the game's already making money. Yeah, well, in 1 second, I want to, you're sounding really glitchy on my end, and I don't know what it is, so I'm just going to disconnect, reconnect, but save that thought. All right. So you're still sounding glitchy, so I'm going to change something. Is it sounding like that for you guys on the stream, or is it just my stupid AirPods? You could hear at least 99% of what he was saying. Yeah, bro's house is haunted, yeah. It's haunted by my dog. I love that. It happened. I got like a bunch of comments on a video about that because she walked half into the room, like in the start of the intro, and like she's a black dog, and it was really dark on the ground. Like it's usually really dark back there. So she's a black dog, so it just looked like the door opened on its own, and like half the comments about the dog were like, "Bro, your house is haunted," because some people didn't know what even happened. Kind of funny, but. Yeah, what was your question? So he's speaking. Yeah, he's asking another question. So it sounds like on YouTube it's fine. It's just my stupid AirPods. So I'll just try to listen to what you're saying.
Going large scale straight away and, like you said,
They can't hear you anymore.
or
Yeah, I
whatever
can't
on
hear you
one
anymore
thumbnail.
either.
Hello?
I don't know why this is being so stupid. Stupid AirPods. Okay, let's see. AirPods are not good streaming equipment. Let's just be honest. Yeah, now
Hello,
let's see
hello,
if I can
hello.
hear you. Okay, I reset it, so I think now it's working.
Perfect.
Now I can hear you fine.
Perfect. Hello. Perfect. Perfect. So I'll
Weirdness.
make this quick. So,
Hmm.
YouTubers spend like 60. They make like 60 thumbnails, different variations. Then they'll run it on a small set, like on a small scale. They'll do like 10 people looking at each different thumbnail or whatever, or 100, rather than spending like $500 outright, and they'll see which one out of those 60 on a small set of data performs the best, and then you
Yeah.
can usually tell which one of those thumbnails will perform the best at a large scale. Do you think this would apply to Roblox, or have you seen anyone doing this to your knowledge? And do you
Yeah.
know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about A/B testing. That does apply to Roblox. So
Yeah, yeah, A/B
that
testing, that's it.
applies by, let's see. I'm actually looking something up on ChatGPT right now. So let's see here. I'm asking if there is A/B testing on Roblox because I remember hearing something about them adding a feature like that. But I will tell you about somebody who's done like an alternate way to do it
Because
if that feature does not
if it
exist.
works on YouTube so well, and if thumbnails are so important, surely that's, before you do anything else, before you make the game, however, whatever title it is, if people aren't gonna initially even click through onto your game, it's already dead. Am I
It's
not
already
wrong?
cooked.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm completely new. I don't know too much about Roblox or whatever. I played it since 2016, but this is from me seeing it from an outsider's perspective, having worked on like different types of media, I guess.
Yeah, let's see. I'm asking ChatGPT, can you A/B test icons? Because I remember
Because
them
surely,
talking about
surely that's
that.
got to be like an overpowered method if no one's A/B testing. Like,
Yeah, let's see. So main way people do it is still manual rotation. They don't have. I don't think they have a feature for it like YouTube, sadly.
so, so,
Because I am
so
checking because I have heard
people
things
are
about that
manually
or
doing
murmurs
this.
about that. Yeah, so people are doing this. They will manually rotate the icon. So
They're
what I
not
do is
using
I will
scripts.
change it. I will change the icon when I do a sponsor, and I will track how much that it changes the CTR. And you'll want to like have that data saved. But you can manually rotate. But another thing that people do, so to give you the method that I've seen this company called GameFam do. GameFam is a venture capital company on Roblox that was funded with millions of dollars. And they're quite controversial because they actually have bought up many Roblox games or portions of them. Like they own a huge chunk of it, kind of like Do Big, but they're a separate company. And what I saw them doing way back was they would make separate versions of the game, and then they would have it so that they would sponsor that version. And then when you join that game, right, it's like a totally separate game. It has a different icon, but then when you join the game, it just teleports you to the main game. So that's kind of like the
Bro,
bypassing
yeah, I've
method.
seen that.
So you can
Yeah.
do that where you make like copies of your game, and then each one just has a different icon. You sponsor each one, and then each one actually is just a teleport in disguise to whatever your game is. My next one will be Kick a Poop. It would be like 5 different Kick a Poop icons. They all teleport to the main game. So you could try that if you want to A/B test all at once, and then you want to see that data on separate sponsors. It is a little bit janky though, and
That
there
seems
might be a
a
risk to
really
people clicking on it and saying, "Oh, there's 0 players in this." That's kind of weird. But if you don't care about that and you think, "Yeah, the icon thing, the thumbnail thing, that'll be worth it. It'll help me get players." Maybe try that. Maybe copy what GameFam did.
Mm. And do you know anyone personally who's gone from developing to working at like game studios? And if so, would you know the process of like how that is, or if they had any qualifications behind them or anything like that, and how hard or difficult it is? Yeah, I guess that. Um,
So do I know anyone who does what?
who do you know anyone who has gone from being just a Roblox developer, designer, whatever, being in the Roblox community to working at a Roblox studio?
Yeah, I mean, to come up with one off the top of my head would be kind of difficult, but there are a lot of people who have done that. Like, there's lots of people who have built up skill in the Roblox community and then they start working at a studio. I I have I worked on the Ryan's World Roblox game, for example, back when I was like 14, because I had done commissions on Roblox, and then one day I was reached out to by the guy who runs the studio that was hired to make that, and I was the builder on it. So yeah, you can get hired at studios even just for small things. Was I getting like a yearly wage? No, I was just getting a normal small payment for being a 14-year-old, just kind of making the game. It was hourly. So yeah, you can get hired at these bigger studios or even smaller studios, more likely smaller ones. You can look at places like the Adopt Me developers website, and they actually have hiring open. Like they have applications open for different roles at their company. So yeah, there's ways to do that. There's people who do that all the time, but usually they're people who have experience in the Roblox community. They've done it over years, and they can back that up with like creations and successful projects and things like that. And then they go to those companies and they get hired. It's not like some random newbie comes into the community and they're like, oh, I'm going to get hired, and all right, let's go. I'm going to GameFam, or I'm going to Do Big, or I'm going to the company behind Adopt Me or Meep City or whatever it is. Not like they're doing that like right off the bat after getting started. So yeah, it can be done. I've seen devs get hired by studios. I mean, like my friend Myro, he's claimed to me that studios have like asked him for advisory on how to grow their games and stuff, and he's helped them grow. So advisor roles are a thing. Consulting. There's a lot of people who have done things like that. Yeah.
And do you know anyone who's making a living? Do you know? Sorry, I should say it like this. Do you know what it takes to get to a living wage? Be able to make a living wage off Roblox development or servers, and I mean, obviously, living wage is different for everyone, right?
Yeah.
But let's say 30 grand, let's say 30,000 a year, right? After taxes. How much of like the top 1%, or do you know, or top whatever percent would you have to be making that kind of money? And how realistic is that? I don't know.
Yeah.
I know there's going to be a lot of people, you know,
To make a
watching
living.
and
What did you
stuff,
say?
so-
What did you say as the example amount?
Let's say 30,000, right? Would you say that's
30,000.
an all right after taxes, bare minimum for living?
Sure, yeah. If you have an
Well-
area that doesn't have high costs, like really low costs.
Yeah,
which is-
yeah,
It's
yeah.
getting harder now. But
True.
yeah, I would say that what it takes to do that, it really depends on like the monetization of a game. But making 30K is like, how much is that a month? It's like 2.5K a month, something like that. You can
Yeah.
make that much with sometimes 50 players or 100 players if the game is very
Or
well
what?
monetized. It depends on the game. Like most games at 50 players or 100 players, like an obby with a really young audience, not well monetized, it wouldn't make very much. But depending on the audience, right? Like simulators, for example, are known to have a high payer conversion, and they make a lot compared to other games. That's why so many people make them, like to a large extent. Yeah, they're kind of templated. They're kind of easy to make. Why is my camera bugging out and making me so bright? But anyway, my perspective on that is, or it's not my perspective. It's just that's how it is. Like simulators are more profitable than a lot of other games. I've heard this from many developers, and you can just see. I mean, they're designed that way. They're designed to make a lot of money, just through numerous game passes and developer products and things that are very engaging in the game that would prompt you to want to upgrade and buy things. But yeah, it depends on the audience. It depends on the size of the game. It depends on the genre. But the demographic being right, the monetization being heavy and very well done, you can make that much from a small game, like from a very small game. From Jimmy Games, for example, that game, like it had like a few hundred players on our meme games at peak for most of the time during that peak, and it made like 1,500 something, like 1,000 or 2,000 a month, many months, sometimes more than that, 3,000 if I remember correctly, right? And the monetization would also spike up during the holiday season. Like you would earn a lot more. You'd earn several $100s more during the,
Is
or
it a
actually
bit
up to
like
$1,000 more from the holiday season. Like during Christmas, we would see our Robux spike up to like 100,000 in one day, which is like $350. So that was really interesting to see, just having a game that actually had consistent players. It can make a significant amount of money. So that was like really small too. Like oftentimes we only had like 50 players online. So compared to a lot of other games, that's really small. So that's kind of something that I've seen myself in my own experiences with games. But yeah, I just know from just generally that is how much games make. If they are well monetized, they can make several thousand a month. But if they are poorly monetized, even with a lot of players, you can earn not much at all. So player count isn't always monetization. Like even if the game has 10,000 CCU, it doesn't mean that it's making tons and tons of money. Like 10,000 CCU, it's going to be making a good amount, right? It's going to make several thousand minimum, but it doesn't mean it's making 20,000 a month, right? And you'd have to ask these people who actually have games with that many CCU to get the exact stats. But just know it is heavily demographic dependent. And it depends on who's playing your game and what the game is and how well it's monetized. Like you can have one Game Pass and no developer products and make nothing, even if the game has 100,000 players. You can make some money from playtime, but besides that, right, what is there to monetize on? A Game Pass can only be bought once. So dev products kind of raise the ceiling. So that's something I always say to people is, like, if you want to make the most off of a game, you want to have dev products. Like, that's one thing we did wrong in Jimmy Games. Most of it was Game Pass monetization, and so it's kind of crazy it made the amount that it did. Like 35, 40K, probably 40K. I'm not in the group now, so I don't know. Upwards of 40K in the span of its lifetime. And that was because of just engaging monetization. It was stupid meme stuff, but it led to just something that people wanted. So having dev products though, so circling back to that, dev products are temporary purchases, like coin packages. Like I can buy 5,000 coins for 30 Robux. You can buy that an unlimited amount of times. So that means there's an unlimited ceiling to how much you can earn from dev products. Game passes can only be purchased once. Like, oh, I want this permanent gun. Yes, that's pay to win. That's what we did in Jimmy Games. It was definitely pay to win, more or less. But like, buy this gun for 349 Robux, the minigun, and you keep that forever. There's a ceiling to that, because once you buy all the Game Passes, now we've made as much money from that player from Game Passes as we could ever, right? We can't earn anymore unless they, for some stupid reason, want to donate to us and they delete the Game Pass from their inventory and then buy it again, right? Which nobody's going to do. So dev products actually allow you to kind of have unlimited income technically from a player, like theoretically, right? It enables the potential for whales. So that is something to keep in mind, is if a game has no dev products, they're killing the income potential. And then just something for your own game. I mean, most games are going to have dev products, like they're going to sell currency, they're going to sell coins or gems or whatever. Soft currency or hard currency. Hard currency obviously is usually only or mostly purchased with real money, or in Roblox, Robux. So yeah, definitely have that. Not just currency purchases, right? Like boosts and things like that really help. But that is also something to look at. If a game only has dev products, you can generally, or if it only has Game Passes, you can generally assume its income is lower than if it did have dev products as well. But that's generally the answer from me for that. I don't have like, man, why is my light doing this? Or my camera, it's so bright. There, okay. But yeah, man. Does that basically answer your question? Like, I don't have the full stats because I don't have a game with 10,000 CCU myself that I can pull up and be like, here's how much it's making. I wish I did. I'm working on doing so.
Yep.
But
I appreciate.
I would recommend asking. Yeah, I would recommend asking people who do have that amount of CCU. You can reach out to many of them and you can get the exact numbers there. But there are also websites that kind of estimate the amount that a game makes, and you can kind of guess by looking at the game's player count and just kind of how well it's monetized, whether it has dev products in it or not. And that's really it. I mean, you can estimate generally that amount of money that a game's making by how much Robux per visit. So that's one thing you can kind of think of. How much Robux per visit? Well, a decent Robux per visit, not crazy high, is like 1 Robux per visit. So if a game isn't super horribly monetized, if it has 1 million visits, there's a decent chance it made about $3,500, but no guarantees, right? So our games and Jimmy games, I remember the Robux per visit was something like 0.7 or 0.3 on Poopland. So it was higher on like Sussy Imposter Land, and yeah, they were meme games, like dumb meme games, but they had like an okay Robux, like an okay pair conversion rate, an okay Robux per visit. So that's what I remember the stats being when I was in that group, and that meant that because the game had 38 million visits or whatever, you can estimate it made like 16 million Robux, right? Something, so like around half that, and you multiply that times 0.0035. Let's see, 16. Let's see. Yeah, no, that must be. No, that wouldn't be the amount. So it would be a lot lower than that, because I'm thinking of the amount of visits on Poopland. But yeah, anyway, man. Basically that's my answer to your question.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
It's 3 in the morning for me, so
Yeah,
I'm
for
gonna
sure.
dip. I've got to get some sleep.
All right, definitely get some sleep, man.
Appreciate
All right,
it.
catch you later.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you for coming on. All right, let's see here. Your game had 85,000 visits and only made 12K Robux. So it's the same thing I was saying. The monetization isn't that good. Like, just being blunt, it's not as good as it could be. So 1 Robux per visit, it's not 1 Robux per visit. We could literally do the math on that, right? $12,000 divided by 8,500. So that is 0.14 Robux per visit, right? And that's close to what like Poopland had in Jimmy Games. And that game, let's see. Poopland had like a 0.2, 0.3 Robux per visit. So let's just say it's 0.25. I don't have access to the game right now, but if we search that up and we see the amount of visits it has, you can kind of estimate, right, how much the game made. So it has 13 million visits. So I was way overestimating how many visits it had, because I know Sussland has more visits. So that game has made, based on that calculation, let's see, 3,359,697 Robux, which is pretty accurate. That's about how much that game made. So that's about, let's see, 3,359,697 times 0.0035. I'm on a calculator right now. That's about $11,758 from that game, from a poop game, literally. So that's what I'll tell you. I mean, did I get a large percentage of that group? I got a pretty decent percentage. Honestly, it should have been higher because I did most of the development on those games. But yeah, I made a decent chunk of change, like 7-8K or somewhere around there, being in Jimmy Games. Let's see. Hey, Smarty, thanks for starting these live classes. Very inspirational. Keep up the hard work with all these work you put in these classes. Yeah, man, I definitely will. These are more like Q&As, so I wouldn't call this one a class. We will be doing live classes in Smarty Devs on every Saturday. So definitely join those. We have more coming your way. on YouTube. Make sure that you're in Smarty Dev so you can join those. We just had our community member do a class to, I think, over 52 people at peak right at the start. Some people dropped off, but like 20, 30 stayed for most of the class, which was a really good turnout for the first class. So do join. He was teaching people 3D modeling. So if you want to get taught for absolutely free, we might do paid ones in the future, but it'll be only on like advanced topics, and it won't be most classes. Most classes will stay free. You can join Smarty Devs to get those. Smarty and other devs really motivate me. Yeah, man, you got to get motivation from all the different sources out there. I mean, I'm motivated when I see people who are getting results. Like, I like looking at that when I see people who have more success than I have in development, right? In terms of games. I love seeing that on Twitter. And I like looking at like Row Trends. I want to look at that more. That's a really good website. We should pull that up on stream, shouldn't we? Let's take a look at Row Trends and see what's going on, right? What is growing right now? Right, this is kind of like just a free flowing stream at this point. It's not just a Q&A. Let's take a look. How to learn Lua coding fast. Watch my video. Subscribe. You can learn Lua coding from the method that works best for you. Which sounds ambiguous as hell, right? The method that works best for you. But you have to find that method by doing it. So watch YouTube. Watch a YouTube video first. If that doesn't work, try to find a tutor on Discord. And if you need a free tutor, go to Smarty Devs, join the future classes on scripting. We will have them. And then find the method that works for you by trying them, right? And then also asking AI questions. That is something that really helps now. Helps a lot of people. Let's see, I need to make this camera. I need to make this light brighter again. Is it possible for a game to pop off without any Robux advertisement or sponsorships? It's hard because nobody will know about it. So if you don't tell anybody about it at all, there's no way to seed the original player base. All right, let's take a look at this. So we are on Row Trends. I recommend that you use this website. Highly recommend it. Let's see here. Boom. So, Row Trends is a website that lets you see the stats of games and games that are currently popping off. Man, you're telling me I have to have a stupid account? Are you kidding me? I don't want an account. I don't want an account. Why do I have to have an account for your website, dude? They didn't used to have it that way. Hang on. Ugh. Let me get an account. Let me get an account for Row Trends. I'm starting to hate you guys. Just joking. Row Trends. Please, just make your website non-account use yet again. Boom. Okay, I am now logged in. Hate that. I hate signing up. Whatever. Anyway, got that hurdle out of the way. You're the best content creator on YouTube. That is quite the compliment. I appreciate that, my friend. Or read a book that can teach you. He's talking to the guy who was asking about how to learn scripting. Yeah, there are some scripting books, but most people nowadays don't want to learn from a book. So most people, unless you're like the very, very book brain and the book savvy, you're probably not going to want to do that method. Let's just be honest. But do that if that is something that you're into. Like if you're actually a book reader, which I personally now am not, unless it's on Audible and I'm really into the topic, which is rare. Very rare. What is your current goal? I want 1K CCU. You're asking how many CCU I want. I want 1K CCU, and I want it consistently. Minimum. That's it. And then I want to make a good amount of money from a game. So I'm trying to launch some new ones that could be successful. Let's see. That's why I've been making random vibe-coded games in the group Wild Wild Worlds. If you want to join that and give me some reviews, let's see. Actually, okay, we'll take a look at this, and then we'll look at a game I'm making, and you guys can give me some feedback. Tell me how trash it is, if it even works right now, right? Because it is a game about driving a bus down a hill. We'll take a look at that. I don't know why I haven't live streamed it. Like, I don't live stream my development, but I could. Something that I want to do is get your guys' like, give me the next Claude Code prompt. Give me the next Codex prompt. Let's try that out. All right, let's give that a shot. I've never done that before. We could. What if we did a stream in the future where chat vibe codes a Roblox game? That's a banger concept right there. That's a banger concept. So I'm gonna consider doing that. Chat vibe codes the Roblox game. But we'll do that here, and we might do that as just a dedicated stream in the future because I just came up with that. I think that would actually pop. That would bang. Let's see. Okay, top moving games today. Climb Scary John Pork Tower. That is something else. Are we seriously about to play this crap? What the? This is like a whole genre. What the hell? What is going on here? Survive Scary David Tower. Climb Scary Mr. Beast Tower. Climb Scary IShowSpeed Tower. The IShowSpeed one has 100 players and 800 some thousand visits. Not too bad. Does it have a lot of game passes? Okay, most of its game passes are pretty cheap. Let's see. Let's go to... Oh my goodness. Why am I playing this? Why am I about to play a game called Climb Scary John Pork Tower? Okay. Okay. The humiliation ritual. It's a humiliation ritual joining this game. Wow. Wow. What are we actually doing? No, it has players, right? It has 557 players, so clearly they're doing something right. I kind of want to make a Jean Pork game now. Rovi Roblox, you should rate my new game. Maybe, you got to tell me what it is. Hello. Hello, hello. Yeah. Tell me what it is, I might check it out. Though my super chat goal is still at $50 and we're $10 away from being able to review games, so I may not be able to until we hit our goal. Even though you're a YouTuber, so you have 251k subs. Not too bad. But it's all from shorts, so it's fake. No, I'll give it to you. You got it. You got it, man. You got some views. That ain't all easy. Let's see here. Let's see here. We got the tower game. John Pork Tower. You know, you see, here's the thing. This game is a joke. But the thing I notice more and more nowadays is that even in joke games, they have a quality UI. Like, the UI doesn't look bad. Like, it actually looks decent quality. I don't know if they use, like, a pack. I think there's a popular stud-style UI pack online. And I need to find it. Is there, like, a Roblox stud simulator UI pack? I'm Googling this because this might actually be a thing. So, this is on itch.io. So right here we have, this is by Hops Dev, and if you look at this, oh look, yeah, so this is a thing. So you can actually get this, but this is paid, so this costs money. This is really cheap though. It's like $5. So if you're looking for like a quality UI that looks like John Pork game, they're all using a pack. It might be this one, but it might also be a free one. Let's see. How to make stud GUI in Roblox Studio. Yeah, no, I'm looking for a pack. Wow, people are really asking on the dev forum how to make a stud UI. Is it really that complex to you? It's just an image, bro. They're trying to tile it with the built-in tile feature. Is there even a tile feature in Roblox Studios UI design? Learn what image label. I suggest you learn what image labels are. Damn, bro is brutal. Bro is brutal. You know, maybe I'm just reading that like it was an own. Like, I feel like this guy was trying to make an own. I suggest you learn what image labels are, you idiot. Maybe he's not making an own. Maybe I just read everything as an own. Like, I just have own vision. He's owning him. Or maybe he's just saying, you know, you're just new. I suggest you learn what they are. I know what they are. I'm asking suggestions on how to actually make the images. I suggest you... Okay, he is trying to own him. I suggest you learn what graphic design is. Yeah, bro is being brutal. Well, yeah, it is a really basic question, so he kind of deserves the own, because it is just a PNG. Like, it's just a simple image label. Let's see. And by the way, everybody on Discord, I'm currently live streaming this, and they can see something you can't. They can see the dev forum post. So just go to the stream if you want to see that. But, let's see. This sounds very passive-aggressive, LOL. Well, yeah, he's kind of trying to own you, bro. I just love it. It's like dev forum entertainment. I don't know if you guys have seen on Twitter. There was a guy. I don't know if he still exists. Devforum .txt. And one time we actually ended up on here. Jimmy from Jimmy Games ended up on here with a post that we made. Because he made a diss on the dev forum mod. This is like history, man. Let's see here. So we got, okay, dev forum txt. Dude, this guy has quit. This guy was a legend, man. He was a legend. Did I talk to this guy before? I feel like I did. No, maybe not. Chat. Oh, I tried to submit something to him a long time ago. So, what was I trying to tell him? This was in 2021 and 2022. So I was like trying to suggest something to him, and I got ignored twice. This is before my channel was big or anything. That's funny. I'm trying to find someone who can make a movie for me so I can upload it to Netflix. Yeah, I was like, this is ridiculous. Who the hell is going to... Who is going to... I'm trying to make a movie so I can upload it to Netflix. I'm sorry, little bro. I don't think that they let you upload movies to Netflix as just a normal person. I can pay extra Robux for the quality and how good it is. Like this, bro, Dev Forum TXT, you should have taken this back in 2021. This is like the biggest L Dev Forum TXT has ever taken, is not taking this suggestion. You know what? You can make your comeback. You haven't posted since April, which is insane. This guy is not as active as he used to be. You can make your comeback by tweeting this. You have my permission. Everybody here, just go ahead and like screenshot this and just tweet it. Tweet Smarty's submission. Tweet it. Bring yourselves back. Smarty said to do it. But this is the most goated post ever. I don't know if you guys know who Lawlerus is. What is the best way to stay motivated on a project? Cocaine. This guy's like a big dev. He made... what is it called? It's a murder game. It was really big on Roblox. Why can't I not remember? It's not Murder Mystery. It was Murder... Frick, what was the name of it? It was Murder something else. I can just go to Lawlerus's profile. Lawlerus on Roblox, and then we can go... I think I own... When I had like one of the first Roblox figures, I think I might have owned a Lawlerus one. No, I think I owned a Dued. I own a Dued 1. I still have it. It's somewhere around here. I own a Dued 1 Roblox toy. Dued. I say it like that because it's the way his name is spelled. I can't remember what game Dude 1 made. He made the Mad Murderer, right. So this used to be big. I remember back in, what was it, 2016 Roblox. The Mad Murderer was a huge game. It's so old, it's not even on there anymore. In fact, I think the Mad Murderer got uncopy locked in open source. So if you go and you search the Mad Murderer on Roblox, it doesn't even, like, it's just filled with clones. Let's see, the Mad Murderer. I thought it got uncopylocked or somebody had the file, because a lot of people, I remember having, like, finding it. I found it somewhere. I was like, why is this public? I think it might have gotten leaked. Maybe that was it. Yeah, let's play this. Mad Murderer X. So that has 3,000 players. I remember when he released this. He was making a new version of it. Lollerus. This is the guy who has cocaine for making Roblox games. Sweet. It better be good then. Better be working. The Magic Academy. Mansion. Are my joins on Roblox? My username's SmartyCar23 if you're trying to join. I don't know if my joins are on. Let's see. I wonder if he knows what movie he wants to make. Yeah, he better know. He better at least know what movie he wants to make. I'm watching your scripting for noobs video. That's a W, man. I know templates have them. Yeah, Game Templates by BubbleX. Game Templates is awesome. Wall Hop Slap Battles is your game. Well, I gotta... Hey, man. No YouTuber privileges. I would. But we have to have $50 in Super Chats. Right now, we are at 40. So I can't review anybody's games until then. Let's see here. So send me money. Yeah. We'll do a full review game stream if we get to that. Such an enormous amount of money, $10. I can't believe it. Yeah. See this? Like, Pet Simulator was really big at the time, and I remember when he released this, and it didn't do too well at first, but it seems like it's doing better now. It seems like... Dude, this reminds me of one of my favorite games that I totally forgot about, called Cat. Have you guys played Cat? I think they changed the name of Cat to something else. Cat was hella fun. Let's see. So if I go to, let's see, Cat. I would play this all the time in the background of my videos. Oh yeah, Cat is dead. Why'd you guys kill Cat? Screw you guys. What's your problem? Does anybody even know this game exists now? Knife ability test. This was what I would grind. Like, it was this and Arsenal. Like, I am not a diversified Roblox player. All I used to play was Cat and Arsenal. Nothing else. Like, literally nothing else. And these Climb a Tower games have been popping off for a year straight now. Yeah, I might have to make one. They seem pretty cool. Pretty simple. Just on some new meme. Oh, screw that guy. Killed me. Okay. Target. So Cat is like... It's such a satisfying game. You were murdered. See, I was murdered quick. Like, Cat is like a kind of an FFA game. Let's see. God. I remember being good at this game, at least to some degree. But I would have this in the background of, like, popular shorts, and people would be like, what game is that? It kind of made, like, a cool background footage. Dude, is my mouse lagging, or am I just coping? My mouse is lagging, that's why I can't hit. Maybe it's just because I don't really play now. Like, I haven't played Cat in forever, but this was one of my favorite games. Just a few years back, and I totally forgot about it. Until I was reminded, because the mechanics in Mad Murderer X are just like this. Like, they have practically the same gun and the same knife. You are protected from... Dude, these people are sweats. No wonder. The sweats have cleared out this game. No, it's just like that, because it's kind of a difficult game, because everything is one shot. I blame the 60... Oh, yes, a kill. Okay, one kill. Yes, another kill. Boom. Hey, boom. Quad kill. Okay, maybe now I'm the sweat. Hey. I'm still the sweat, I swear. Okay, let's see here. Protected from damage. We got spawn protection. Yeah. Let's see here. Oh! Okay, that totally just hit a decal. See, I like this. I want this style to come back. You guys know this style. Like, we have retro slop. Where in the world is medium poly slop? That's such a mouthful to say. We call this style like the 2017/2016 Roblox style. Like, if you started back then, that's around when I started, 2015. So we saw the era of materials. If you make a new Roblox project today, it actually starts on the 2022 materials, but I think they kind of look like trash compared to the older materials. Why don't we have a comeback of this style? Like, I liked it. It's kind of the new nostalgia, because we've kind of brought back the studs thing, right? And, wow, I'm just getting smoked. We brought back the studs thing, but we have not brought back... Somehow that was a kill. The materials thing. We have not brought back the medium poly thing. What happened? Why? Honest question. Oh, I love this. This is like a really good camping spot if you can actually hit. Dude. This is the Roblox I remember, you know? Let's see. Here I am, nostalgia farming. Okay. Dude. I blame my mouse. My mouse sensitivity always feels wrong. We should really test that, though, in Arsenal. Arsenal is not nearly as big as it was, but it's still holding some players. When will he end the stream? I haven't paid much attention to him mentioning the schedule. We don't really have a schedule right now. We're just going with the flow. Let's see. Here I am trying to team kill. Let's see. Boy, am I not at my peak of Arsenal. I remember when I was quite good at Arsenal. Like, I've not played in a while. It's been a little bit. Like, I just think I want to use a monitor that isn't 60 hertz. Like, I'm using a 60 hertz monitor. I would play on... I have a 240 hertz monitor downstairs. I should honestly just plug it into my Mac and just steal it, because nobody even uses the computer downstairs. Let's see. Here I am blaming anything but myself. It's my monitor, I swear! Dude. Okay. Hang on. Alright, I think that's enough Arsenal. That's enough Arsenal for now. Let's try when my mouse sensitivity's fixed. Yeah, but anyway, let's go. Wow, yeah, we're still here. Smarty, if you... Okay, we're still here on Discord. I'm surprised you guys stayed while we were playing some games. Can't even see them. Legendary members. Let's see. Yeah, so... Let's see here. Smarty, if you live stream your game dev, I'd 100% tune in. Leaf does it and always try to watch his streams. Yeah, Leaf is big too. He did that because he was hella consistent, right? And he made a game. And obviously that game is very big. Slime RNG, but he live streamed himself making that for a long, long time. So, yeah. the live streams can go to very good things. Let's see. You notice the super chat has a time limit. Yeah. That's just because I'm forced to put a time limit on it, but really the goal is just getting that total, even if it is next stream. Let's see. Window capture. Boom. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my game, which this game is by no means even close to being done. But let's see. We'll pull that up. So on here we have on Roblox Studio. Hang on 1 second. File open from Roblox. Boom. Okay. I do have a GM that I need to look at. We'll look at that soon. Experiences, group experience. Okay. I know where my game is. Let's see. Recents. It's called that. I can't remember if I was fighting codecs to get this to work. This game is nowhere near done. It's very early. Let's see. Super basic. Like, this is just like, I was pulling in the bus from Steal a Bus, and I was going to make a game where you can, let's see, I got to move this camera here on stream on YouTube. I was going to make a game using the buses from Steal a Bus because I realized they're pretty good models, so why not? But see, Codex, I was fighting it because it was putting the bus halfway in the ground. I'm like, what are you doing, bro? Hang on 1 second. People are always annoyed about this because I will not show all my Codex chats, but it's like, I'm not trying to leak every single idea I have into public consciousness. Thank you very much. Deal with your own Codex, buddy. Yeah. Yeah, so I do blur out my Codex chats, but it's like, I have so many ideas, I'm like, I don't want people to take them. And all my ideas will go into Codex, because it'll be like, oh yeah, I'm like, I want to cook that. Let's see. 1 second. We will open up the drive a bus 9,999 miles down a hill. See, I was fighting it. It was still having this problem. This idiot Codex. I have a voice thing on here. Why is it not working? You idiot! It's still falling into the ground halfway through, and I can't even drive. Fix that bug. See, when I say I use simple prompts, I mean it. Sometimes I insult it a little bit. Let's just be honest. I insult the AI just a few times for good measure. The ultimate prompting technique, you know? Yeah. But, I mean, yeah, that one deserves a hard correction. Yeah, it really does need a hard correction, buddy. All right, let's see here. Because I'm trying to show the stream this, and you've ruined it, Codex. Because it was working. I could actually drive the bus down the hill. But like I was saying, like I was talking about earlier, how, because people are asking me, oh yeah, you know, should I learn modeling? Should I learn building? Yeah, because the bottleneck is no longer the coding, right? Like, obviously, Codex will be an idiot sometimes and not make things work. But, see, the building is the bottleneck. Like, this map is not there. It's very simple because I don't have the patience for building, right? I kind of like the idea of having you kind of drive off of a cliff. So I have kind of a cliff going. But then I was building other segments. So, this is like a, let's see, obviously like a road segment. What happened to my, oh yeah, I was making a city segment, so like a super simple city segment. So then there's kind of obstacles and different types that you'll run into. Obviously, I need to add more of these and kind of polish them up. But yeah, and then I was going to switch it over so it's kind of tracking how many segments you go down. So I have the course here, and I was naming it 1 through however many numbers. And I was going to replace a lot of these grassy segments so that it's not boring with different types, like the city one. And then you're kind of driving the bus down the hill at high speed. And basically you're just trying to drive to the end. Because this is kind of inspired by, there's a lot of games on Roblox, like Fall 9,999 miles, right? If I go to Roblox here, there is, okay, fall down a hill, right? Fall down a hill. Come on, where is it? Slide down the longest hole in Roblox. Or drive. It's kind of like that. But there used to be these games where you would fall 9,999 miles. Or it was more like, I think they would actually put it more like 999,999. Maybe I need to title it that, but then the title would be so long because it's drive a bus 9,999 miles down a hill. Yeah, so we have slide 999,999 miles in a box. Obby? How can you make an obby out of that? When was this made? This was made in 2024. See, I told you, all these games have like decent UI. Like, I'm not going to say this is high quality, but they all have something to it. Right? I think they usually use like a template. Like the guys making these games, they don't want to put tons of effort in, obviously. And I don't expect them to. I think you're better off making something simple. Dude, is this going to be copyrighted music? Turn that off. I want my stream monetized. Thank you very much. But yeah, you're just going down the hill, man. And really the same idea here, except you have a bus. And yeah, you can see they do have different areas. This is way simpler because this is like an old Roblox map. Like, I think this is something that must have gotten uncopy locked or leaked at some point. Or maybe this is a free model. Like, I don't know how people get this course because I have seen it before in other games. And I know this course is older than 2024. Like, I've seen this before. So I know that they have this from somewhere. This is coming from somewhere. I just don't know exactly where. But it's not theirs originally. I'll tell you that. Yeah, but there's like nothing. Like, you're doing nothing. So inside of the bus one, and if Codex can ever fix this, I don't know. Inside the bus one, I intend on it being kind of like that, where it's like you're gaining momentum. So the bus kind of gains momentum. So this is like hyper early on, like prototype stage. But I wasn't really sure. Like, I would need your guys' ideas. I wasn't really sure like fully how the game loop would work, like how the progression would work in a game like this. Like, do you buy a better bus? Do you upgrade? Like, we have upgrades, right? That was the one thing. But how do you not have it get boring, right? Because this game here, right, obviously you just play it once and you're done. But that's kind of an old Roblox style. Now Roblox kind of relies more on you coming back to a game again and again. And being able to have multiple levels of progression. Let's see. Did Codex fix that yet? Let's see. So it's claiming that it did. Alright, fix the main cause. You better have. You better have, buddy. Let's see. So the driving mechanics are actually pretty cool. Oh, this is doing a test. It's not doing a full-on. It's doing a run, not a test. Oh. What in the world, man? Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. Yeah, so I like the camera shake. Boom. And then we can kind of hit these fences. They fly out of the way. Go off a cliff. Bang. So, okay. Now I got to drive through here. Otherwise, if I hit the wall, I'm going to die. Oh, now we're on the city. Oh, see? So there's a problem. So I think it needs to be able to climb over things more. So I'm just going to tell it. And I recommend you guys use voice prompting. Make it so that it can climb over things that are 2 studs tall. And make it so that it's not going to get stopped by objects like that, like a road, for example, that has a little bit of a climb. It can just kind of smoothly get on top of that object. And then, Okay, stop. And then I'm gonna send it to high. But in the meantime, we'll actually edit the build, so I can go down to this. And where is it? Where is that one? Where is it? Way up there. Way overshot. Let's see. It's this. So here's the... I hate this, right? Don't you guys hate how you can move things in Roblox Studio? And even if you have a good computer, like, you can see the mouse wheel spinning. Like, you can see the Mac rainbow wheel spinning. It's laggy because there's so many parts. Like, why does Roblox not optimize this? That's really annoying, you know? Like, and now undoing even causes lag. Like, I wonder if I try to use the plugin. If I use the plugin F3X, right? Let's try that. Maybe it'll be less laggy. Let's see. And this is the hell of Roblox Studio, sifting through all your plugins. Like, I have so many plugins you can see up here. Part picker, whatever, blah, 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 blah. We have up here, we have a lot of different plugins. Where is F3X? See, Roblox really needs to get better at managing plugins, like organizing them. I know they added these custom things. Oh, I added one just for most used. Oh, lucky me. So they kind of did help with these custom tabs, but I don't think custom tabs really fix the problem. Not enough. Let's see. Okay. So down here. Oh, that's got my one scale draggers, so I got to turn those off. That was the plugin I made in that one video. All right, turn that off. And then see, the draggers are way down here, so it's kind of annoying to go down. Oh, okay. Okay, great. So I try an alternative method, and Studio just decides to crash altogether. Amazing. See? I just love building. I just love building, man. So we try F3X to move. Maybe it won't lag. Nope. Studio says, I hate you. We're gonna crash. Don't you just love that? Yeah, let's see. Hang on one second. Let me reopen that place. Can I show my plugin? It's a super basic. It's just a scaling tool that lets you scale multiple parts in the same direction. I showed it in a video. It was just an example of how you can code plugins with codecs. It was to show people you can do that. All right. So apparently, if we want to move an object properly, Roblox Studio does not want us to be able to do that if it has enough parts. This is where Roblox has its problems. Like, this should not be the thing slowing me down from launching my game. I'm not going to try to even move this whole model. I'm just going to move the road down and say screw it. It's not worth trying to do. See how much smoother that is when I just move the road? Wow. Okay. Whoa. Okay. Got that wraps. Okay. So this plugin is Resize Align. I just pressed R on my keyboard. That is my most used plugin. I don't use some complicated thing. Oh, Smarty has a secret plugin in his back pocket. Like, it's nothing crazy. It's just Resize Align. It moves one part to the end of another part. I've built on Roblox for years, and that's the best one I've found. Like, the simplest things are the most useful things. I love this plugin. Like, I remember learning about it years back when I watched the video about how to make this cool terrain. And I've just used it ever since on everything. Like, Resize Align. Moves one part's face to the other part. Resizes it to align. Lovely. Get yourself that one. And then bind it to R and use it on everything. See, the weird bug that I noticed is this thing randomly bounces, and there's like nothing there for it to bounce on. So I don't even know why that's happening. Oh, wow. Oh, my. Yep. Run complete. See? So Basically, I just died, but it didn't actually destroy the bus. Like, it should look like the bus was in a wreck. Like, whenever the bus hits a wall and you're crashed, you should know that. Make it so that the bus, when it gets into a wreck, right, it clearly kind of flips over and looks like it was in a wreck. And then make it so you can't drive anymore. You're forced to hit retry. And then also when your character respawns, make it so the run complete UI disappears. Because right now it's staying forever. Put that in there. Try. Does YouTube allow you to make a members only video or a membership for your YouTube channel? Yeah, I have that. That is so broken. Isn't the one way it was designed to move however you want it on Studio? Yeah, well, that plugin is basically there for people who want to build in a different way. It's kind of cope. Like, I don't know why you need a tool, a different plugin, just for building tools. I always thought F3X was useless except for the one tool of resize. So I just extracted that tool and made my own. Codex, and that's what I use. Oh, see, so I'm getting in a wreck. See, I could see this being really fun. Like, especially if you have multiple people in, and maybe you can ram each other off. Like, you guys, if you have suggestions for this game, throw it out there in the chat, because you can see this. This could be really sick. Like, if this was finished. Like, it could be really sick. It just needs a lot of work. We'll just say that. But yeah, this is going to be one of my things that I launch, one of my prototypes. Let's see. I really love the cliffs. I should definitely add more of those because it's so cool when it's falling. Whoa, run complete. See, we really need Codex to fix this. Get your ass in gear, Codex. Hurry up. Hurry up, Codex. You're being too slow. See, it's writing all this. It's writing all this code. Okay. Now, Codex is fast. On a serious note, it is fast. I think it's faster than Plot Code. Yeah, I do have a membership, by the way. You were asking about that. I have that. You can get one if you want. Sometimes people gift memberships on chat, too, which is pretty cool. Okay. See, there's not enough control of the bus mid-air. Like, I should still be able to turn mid-air. Make it so I can have some ability to turn mid-air. Right now, I can't really have much control over it. Also, when the bus is going fast, I can't really turn much at all either. Increase the turn control just a little bit. Dude, I don't know why I don't live stream myself vibe coding games more. I should do that. Like, I should live stream this. So I will be doing that. I'll live stream the tests, but I'll also live stream me actually vibe coding, because why the hell not, right? And then that's free promo, but it's also, you guys in chat can throw suggestions out there. Did I not see that bump? Yeah, I saw the bump. It's just, we need it so you can roll over them. Even if there is a bump, it shouldn't stop me from driving. Yeah, why is it randomly tilting, right? I don't know. The bus is still randomly tilting. The bus, okay. The bus is still randomly tilting. Fix that. Didn't even catch all my words. That's weird. Anyway. Did it ship that update? See the momentum as it gains momentum. Like it says I'm going 280 miles per hour. It's pretty cool. Let's see. Now I should be able to go over this. Okay, I can. Sweet. See, that looks pretty cool flying through a city. So if I just make that longer, like longer stretches of city, that'll be really sick. Oh man. When it's steep, it is something else. Okay, now I'm falling off the edge. Okay. But see, the run complete thing sucks. Like, I don't even know. Like, that's broken. Okay. Let's see. So whenever I get to the end and I have done a run, right? Or whenever I fall off the edge, right? It says run complete, restart. But if I fall off the edge of the map, I'm already dead. So it doesn't make sense to have a reset button, right? It doesn't make sense to have me resetting at that point, right? So it should just show run complete if you die, but no reset button. It should only say reset. Or you know what? Actually, scratch that. Remove the reset button altogether. Just make it always rely on auto respawn, and then just make it so the person's auto teleported after 2 or 3 seconds if they crash their bus and don't die. There we go. Now we see that the whole premise of the reset button was wrong. That was wrong. Now I see the problem. Like, nobody wants to even click a reset button. That's just Codex being dumb and just doing some generic thing because it feels right. Oh yeah, just add the reset button in. Like, Codex and Cloud Code, because they are trained on mass amounts of online internet data. Like, no, it's not just aggregating random data on the internet to give you a response. It's more advanced than that now. It is simulating thinking. It's not thinking like a human being necessarily, but it's thinking in multiple steps. Somewhat, right? So it's more than that. But the thing about it is, it will do things that are the median, right? It will do things in the way that's the average, right? So if a lot of games out there have a reset button, it will think, oh, that's a good decision. Unless you tell it otherwise. It will drift towards the median, the average, whatever would usually be in a game. So when you're enforcing structure and you're enforcing your idea and you're enforcing your direction and your creativity on it and saying, no, do it this way, that is you refining the idea away from the median towards your concept. And you're kind of like sculpting clay. That's what you're doing when you're vibe coding. You're like sculpting clay into a game. So it's kind of turning the code into what you want, and it's just based on language. It's not based on, typing the code yourself. So it's like just this iterative creative process. But let's see. I have to be honest, I don't like that I automatically am put inside of a bus. Like, I want to get in the bus myself. Like, it's a Roblox game, let me walk. So I'm going to remove that feature. It's something AI added on its own too. Oh, no, see, I don't have enough control over turns. Like, I told it to fix that, but I still don't. Like, come on. Turning is still not sensitive enough. Make it more sensitive. No, not learning. Dummy. Turning. Okay. Let's see. Gonna check the YouTube chat. Haven't looked at it in a minute. Okay. All right. Press E to get in the bus. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Do I have Codex Plus or Pro? I have Pro. How do I connect Roblox with Codex? My friend, we have a video for you. It's on my channel. Go watch. It's the latest video. Released quite recently. How to connect codecs to Roblox Studio. Yeah, it's there. Let's see. Okay. So the bus is still randomly jumping. So I don't know what it's catching on. It's finding something. I don't think there's a part there. So it's just jumping on air. It's been doing this the entire time. Fix it. It's still doing that. Like it's jumping on nothing. Strange. Strange, I can't lie. I wonder how much Leaf streaming his game development and having a chat give him feedback and ideas the entire time contributed to a game's success. If you really think about that, having that much feedback and input from people and that feedback loop with the chat has to have led to the game being better. So I wonder how much of that influenced it being one of the top games on Roblox right now with Slime RNG. Quite an interesting thought. You'd have to ask him directly, really, to know. See, it's doing this stupid jumping thing. But yeah, we're going to do that thing where we tell it, make it so that you no longer have to be put in the bus automatically. I want to spawn at the normal spawn location, so don't modify spawns. Just make it so that I can get in a bus by pressing E, and then make it so that the proximity prompt disappears whenever you get in the bus, and there's a button on your screen that says exit bus, stop driving. And then right now there's like one bus that like spawns half in the ground when you first join the game. I want you to make it so that instead of that, right, 4 or 5 buses, actually a bus spawns at every single one of the bus spawns in Workspace, which there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 bus spawns. They're just transparent parts. Have them spawn at that location. It's a folder in Workspace that you can see. Let's see. And you can manually respawn them, but they spawn by default right there. There, okay. Shove that prompt in there. Yeah, so how do you connect Roblox with codecs? So I'm going to show you this directly while we're waiting for this. So right here, I'm not going to show you how to do it, but I'm going to show you right here on YouTube. Right here on YouTube, my friend, we got Codex AI, just changed Roblox forever. That is the video, my friend. Watch this, it will show you what to do. Okay, I'm gonna rework the flow, blah, blah, blah. You better. You better, Codex. Okay. Yeah, so this needs to be wider, as you can see. See, building is not my forte. Like it used to be, but now it is not. Like the tables have turned. I started out as a builder, and now I am a scripter. And now I'm not even a scripter. I'm a businessman and a vibe coder. I don't even touch the code for the most part now because vibe coding is very effective. I mean, it works. So I don't want to forget how to code though. So I don't think I will, but I'm definitely going to do some manual stuff just so I can keep myself sharp. Okay. Boom. Resize a line is a godsend. If you can see me doing this right now, like take a look at that. If you don't see this as productive, you're crazy. Like if you don't see this as a more productive way to build is having resize a line, like instantly size up parts. I don't even know what to tell you, man. That's one of the best plugins I've ever found. Like, honestly. Let's see. So hopefully this doesn't kill my computer, but we're going to try to duplicate this. Struggling. Computer is struggling. Oh, help me. Oh. It's not that hard. Like, come on. This is Roblox's unoptimized move tools. How does anybody build when this happens? Like, how many parts are really in here? I guess you could say there's hundreds of parts. It's gotta be hard to calculate, but it's not. This should not, like, this sounds like I'm complaining, and I am, because it's a real problem. Why? If Roblox has been around since 2006, and they had hundreds of parts in a lot of different things that you would move back then, why, if it's been around that long, have they not fixed the lag from moving all of these objects? Like, everything is grouped. Like, you really expect me to move each of these models one at a time? Like, what is the issue? Is there something I've done wrong in the structure? Like, if I duplicate this, right? If I duplicate this and I move it to the left, and I have to wait for it to be moved. Like, talk about... I'm all for efficiency, right? This feels so inefficient. Why? Why do I have to wait? Why do I have to wait for this to load? You know? Like, why? Come on. Move. Wow. This is crazy. So if I ungroup all of these, right, will that remove the lag? Let's take a look. Right click, ungroup. No. So if it is literally a bunch of parts and not a bunch of models, so models were not causing the problem. What if we do this? Here's my idea. Okay, we do this. Here's the idea, okay? So we take this. What if we group it as a folder and then wait. Ungroup this so it's no longer a model, it's just a folder. So if I move the folder, nope, still laggy. Okay, here's my other idea, right? So my other idea is I take the buildings on each city block, right? And I group those and I name them by block. So block 1, I know that's at the back, we'll just call it block 1. And we'll add a folder inside of this folder. So add a folder, call it city blocks, and then put each of the buildings in there, right? And we'll include the shrubs here too. Is this a separate part? Yeah, that's a separate part. It's kind of floating a little bit. But we'll group that. We'll call that a new city block. This is block 2. So my idea is basically, because it's so laggy, right? Because Roblox Studio sucks for moving mass amounts of parts. I group the city blocks, and then I just kind of, like, I move the buildings all as one piece, and then I move the road as one piece. Like, now you guys have me go, and I know it's my own volition, but now I'm going to blame you guys. You guys have me going back to my old builder days on Roblox, when I would do commissions. When I was building a massive cruise ship for this guy, I was way underpaying me back in 2021, back in my early dev days, right? You have me going back then in my mind. And I remember there were all kinds of workarounds that we would find. Yeah, you hear a crossbow. That's the game in the background. There were all kinds of workarounds we'd find to all sorts of problems. So we would have problems like, you know, uh, for example, if you have a union, right? If you have a union, uh, you can negate things from that union, right? You can cut off different pieces of it. And you could use that to kind of cut a window out. Or you could use that. Really, I didn't really use unions for that. More so as the main thing that I would use it for is I would union together different parts if I needed to saw a piece off. So like, this is just, you find these random tricks like, oh, this stair is angled weird. So I'll use a negation, like a part. Like if you've ever used negations in Roblox Studio, it will saw off another piece of a part using another part. So then I can have that geometry that I want. So like if I bring a part over here and I go Command D and I go, like if you guys are scripters or something and you don't know what a negation is, if I hit Command Shift N on my keyboard, it turns this into a negation. And then I can select this. I can hit Command Shift G to union it. And now this is one union, right? Unions kind of suck, and I think most people think that if they're sane, but they're good for if you need to make a quick change like that. Like sometimes you have a really weirdly angled part and you just need to saw something off of another part. And that's when you just begrudgingly use a union. I would, let's see, I'm going to just end the Discord stage because honestly, we have nothing for you guys to see here. But yeah, if you want to watch this and you're in the Discord, just go to YouTube. But thanks for joining us on there. We're keeping the YouTube going. Let's see. I do have somebody I need to call up here soon. Let's see what she's saying to me. She's actually Precious, our team member. She's asking me about something. Oh look, our viewers are entering. Welcome. We are currently vibe coding something on this very simple game concept, and you guys are welcome to send your feedback and your ideas. If you have a prompt for me to throw into Codex, do send. I want them because this game is very early and very unfleshed out and very incomplete, so it needs your input. That's normal. You have a questionnaire for player safety / whatever. Hold on, responding to a DM real quick and then we'll get back to this. See. Hello, Smarty. Hello from the Discord. Welcome back, my friend. You could easily have Discord and YouTube going. Well, yeah, you can, but it's confusing as hell, so we'll just have one. Let's see. And also, there's no video on Discord. I wasn't screen sharing. Let's see. So my release assistant, the person who releases our prototype, she's asking me some things. Let's see. Yeah, see if we can get it loading. Yeah. Actually, that's convenient for me that she can't get on a call today because honestly, I'm streaming right now, man. I'm busy. Unpublish this private. I can have issues with the thumbnail stuff. Yeah. Publish without the thumbnail and try again after it's out. All right, DM sent to my contractor, paid contractor. Let's see. doesn't confuse you as part of the audience. Well, I get that, but a lot of people do find that confusing. Like, at least for me, like a lot of people like me would be like, where am I supposed to be watching? You know? So I only want one place where you are supposed to watch. But anyway, irrelevant. Let's continue. So yeah, why was I talking about negations? I have no clue. You know, we are trying all these things to make this more efficient. I'm going to put these parts inside of block 1. Let's see, block 1. Boom. Okay. And I think if I group the city blocks, this should make it so that you can move all the city blocks and then move the road after. So I'm going to teach you guys just random tricks I found in buildings. So one thing, that's the negations, right? You might not know how to do those if you're just a scripter. Unions can be useful for some things, but generally useless because making Blender models is usually better. Right here, let's see, we have this. So this is block 3. And then this one is going to be block 4. So block 3 and 4, right? And then we're going to parent those to city blocks. And then this one is going to be block 5. I know, a tedious process just to reduce the loading time. Block 5, boom. This is block 6. And this one, oh, I didn't forget that. Okay. Block 7. Block 7 is right there. Boom. Okay. And then this is block 8, which is just one building. We'll group it anyway for organization purposes. Block 8. Boom. Okay. And then throw that in there. Now, if we have all the city blocks, right? And here's my next building trick because I promised you one. So what I found, right, is we have the stud increments right here. So I don't know if you guys know this. You can change the increments by which you move parts, right? So I can change the increment here to 10 studs, right? So generally you don't want to move by 10 studs, right? It's kind of weird. Like, why would I move my parts by 10 studs? That's too much. Well, oh man, it's still being laggy. See? You gotta love Roblox. Man. You gotta love Roblox. I don't even have joined surfaces on, which if you have that on, it can make it even laggier because it's trying to generate welds on every single part. I wish I knew a trick that can make it so only certain people can see a certain portion of what I'm doing on video. If I knew that trick, I could help you with that. Yeah, well, have you seen a problem so far? Like, I haven't seen an actual problem of, like, showing, like, all my projects all of a sudden. I haven't done that, so I'm not too worried. It's just more so, like, whenever I'm changing screens, I'm just going to, like, put my face up for a second so you don't see all my Codex projects, right? My ideas stay under wraps until I'm ready to post them. But yeah, that's part of why I haven't live streamed much. I'm like, I don't want all my stuff to be just public. Like, I don't want all of my projects to be public. One trick, you know, now that you mention it, I don't know what your tool is, but one trick is just to use a whole different computer. And I have other computers I could use. I probably will switch, right? Because I have a Windows laptop, and I very generously, like, I have a really, like, decently fast Windows laptop. I know a lot of people say, oh, 2070s or 3070, 3060 is really old now. It's like a 3060 and an i7 laptop. So actually pretty good and should be able to live stream. I think that's a very good laptop. So I might grab that. I let my sister borrow it. Very generous of me. Very generous. Pat on the back, Remy. But yeah, I've let her use that, but it might be the end of my generosity. I might need to steal that back for live streaming. She might have to find a different computer. Because what I don't want to do is move all the way downstairs, and I also don't want to move the computer downstairs up here. Maybe I could do that though. It is kind of a shared like computer that we all use. I'm just thinking through all the different things here. Yeah, the codecs you want to keep private. Yeah, I do. 2070. Are you talking about? No, I'm talking about an RTX 2070. So it's like a NVIDIA RTX 2070. It's not a 2070. That's what I have in my downstairs computer. What I have in my laptop is a NVIDIA RTX 3060, which is the laptop version. So obviously it's a lot less than the desktop version, but it's like, I think it's better than a 2070 in a PC. So it's a pretty good GPU. The 20 series on its own even was powerful and felt like overkill. So we now have the 30 series, we have the 40, we might even have the 50. I think we have the 50. I haven't kept up to date on all that stuff. But a lot of people swear, like, no, 20 series, 36 is ancient. It's like, if you have a 3080 Ti, do you really think there's going to be that many games you can't play on it? Probably not. Like, the 3080 Ti is really good. Let's see. So anyway, the trick I was going to teach you is, and this is really cool. Like, I've never actually mentioned this. Like, the simplest tricks and the simplest plugins seem to help me the most in building and development. Usually you don't want to move things by more than one stud. But if you're trying to move several things the same amount, setting your stud increments to a very high number works really well for that. Because now you know how far everything's getting moved. Like, say I set this to 80 studs, and I move this 80 studs, or 240. Let's set it to 120 studs, right? 120 studs over, right? Now if I want to move another set of buildings over 120 studs, that's easy to do in one go. And I don't have to sit here guessing. If I had this at 1, right, I would be sitting here guessing, and I wouldn't be sure that these are totally lined up. That sucks. That is stupid. So you set it to 120 temporarily. I've never even said this trick out loud. It's just something I kind of learned on my own and just realized, oh, this is a real technique I could actually teach just now on stream. So, yeah, you just set the stud increment on the home tab or on the model tab to 120 or whatever. And then you can move things and you can know, right, that they're all moving the same way. So now I can move these things, right? I know they're moving the same amount, and now I don't have to deal with the lag problem, right? Yeah, I'm moving in multiple steps. That's kind of annoying. It just seems to be the way it is. Roblox Studio's choking and gagging the minute that I try to move too many parts at once. I don't know what that upper limit is, or if it's just the structure. I don't think it's the computer. Don't tell me it's the computer, because this is a very fast computer. This is a M4 Max MacBook with 64 gigs of RAM, which is like, it's one of the best you could get. So it's not the computer, it's Roblox being unoptimized as hell, even though they've been around for 2 decades and they have no excuse. Like 2 decades and you really couldn't figure this one out. Thanks a lot, David. Thanks a lot, Roblox. Like, really. Like 2 decades and it's still so laggy just to move like a few hundred parts. Like, I bet if I went over to Unity, which isn't even a block-based platform, and I try to move 300 parts at once, it's probably, I'm just going to guess, it's probably a little less laggy than that. If I open up Blender, right, if I open up Blender and I try to move several hundred blocks, it's very fast. Let's test that out. Let's actually pull up Blender and see what happens. If I go to Blender, will this load? The computer might actually have too many things open, so that might be part of it. Like, you have 50 Chrome tabs open, that's why it's not working right. But if I open up Blender, where is Blender? Blender, hello? Hello, Blender, open up. It really be just hiding this from me. Oh, there it is. Okay, we found our Blender. Let's test that theory. So if I move several parts in Unity, if I press Shift D, right, which is how you duplicate in, this isn't Unity, this is Blender. If I press Shift D, right, and I have a bunch of cubes, right, like you see how fast and fluid. I think a lot of people that say Blender is so much better for modeling, which I totally agree, but I don't really agree for building because Roblox's tools are so cool for building itself, like building with blocks. I find Blender to be harder for building block structures. It's just kind of weird to me. But if you're doing this, like, see how fluid that is. Like, you don't get this level of fluidity in Roblox. If I have this many parts, right? How many objects even is this? This is like a lot of objects. I need to delete the lights. So if I have this many objects, it's like, what? 3, 6, 9, okay. We'll just call it 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. That's more like 8. So 8 times 1, 2, 3, 8 times 5. That's 40 objects, okay? 40 objects, 80 objects, 120 objects, 160, 200, and then watch this. Select all 200. See? See my point? It moves just fine. There's no choking. There's no lagging. It's just Roblox Studio being trash. Like, what in the... I bet I could literally export this model as an OBJ. I could export each of these parts as separate blocks and put it in Blender and it would be smoother. Proving Studio has no excuse. And yes, it's a game engine. It has more stuff in it, but it's a Roblox plugin. It's a Roblox problem, I mean. It is a Roblox issue. Why? And I know we've been on this, but why? Why in the world is it so laggy to move hundreds of parts? Why is it? Who knows, right? It's really hard to say. But there are workarounds, as you can see, us as builders, which apparently I'm not a builder. RoBuilder said I'm just a scripter. I don't think he knows. I used to be a builder. I'm not just a scripter. But now you could call me just a scripter. Fair enough. But let's see. My building times have passed. Yeah, if I... Let's see. So if I duplicate, let's say, city block. Oh, is this not grouped? Block 4 doesn't have everything in it, so I need to parent these. If I move these, if I duplicate these, let's see. See, that's still laggy. Like, why? Maybe if I make a new file, right? Let's try that. So if I make a new file, okay, and I paste these in, okay, is it going to lag when I move these around? Yes. Is it because of my plugin? But maybe if I turn the plugin off. Okay. Oh. Maybe I'm blaming Roblox for something that my plugin is causing. Maybe I'm just being ruthless out here. See, I turn the plugin off. But still, why would it do that? There must be a problem with how Codex made the plugin. So that's what it is. Yeah, that's pretty wild. So it really is one scale out here, being a annoying little bastard. So I need to turn off my own plugin because it's causing movement issues. Well, that's good to know, because now we can go back to the proper action here of actually moving these large segments, which is what I wanted to do to begin with. So this one was going to be 8. Let's see. 8. And we'll duplicate that again. Oh. Whoa. Okay. What's going on there? Whoa. Beautiful. Beautiful. Studio just crashed again. How beautiful is that? Hang on 1 second. 1 second. So that happened yet again. It's just amazing. Okay. Whoa, 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 lag. Oh. What? It crashed again. You can't be serious. Roblox hates me today. Roblox Studio hates me today, man. Is there a way for AI to model? Yeah. Yeah, there is. It's just not it's not super good at it. Well, actually, I mean, AI, to be fair, it made these buildings. If you think these buildings are good, it's decent enough. It'll do basic stuff. Yeah. Claude Code is better at building than Codex. Let's see here. Let's play the game. Let's see what Codex has done. He's probably done a horrible job, but we'll see. I have so much faith in my programmer. So much. Oh god. They're duplicated. There's dupes. So you have these initial buses that you have placed, and they're overlapping each other, so I can't drive any of them at all because there's another bus inside of the bus. Fix it. Why does bro make these mistakes? Apparently there's a mobile script on AI that lets you make apps of your own. Replit, yeah. I would just use Codex. I wouldn't use Replicate. It's a sandbox environment. It's kind of limiting. I like making apps with Codex and Claude Code. I will make personal Mac apps and things, and iPhone apps, and I published a Roblox, or man, not a Roblox game. Obviously, I've done that. I published an Apple Watch game called Whack-A-Mole. So if you look up Whack-A-Mole Watch on the App Store, that's actually by me, Remy. Under my name, Remy, my real name. So we have published, yes, one vibe-coded game on Apple Watch, and you can actually search that up on your watch if you have one. I do have one, actually. It's pretty decent, except for when it dies, then it becomes a living brick when you're on. But I published that game. It got one sale. I guess I made 99 cents, but that ain't profit. That ain't profit, man. You know how much it costs to publish apps on the App Store? $99 a year. I got to use that thing up. I got to publish more. Vibe coding. We have no excuse. I mean, here's my excuse. I got to make Roblox games, man. That's more important for me. Yeah. We're going to keep on doing it. Well, it's not. Here's what I meant by sandbox. That might not be totally accurate, but what I mean by that is, like, you're in their environment, you're playing by their rules. It's more limiting than if you code it yourself. So I don't know if it's actually sandbox, but close enough to it. Okay, so if you want full control over your app, I would code it with Codex or Claude Code. All right, Codex, work harder. Work harder. I don't know what it's even doing. Like, it's trying to spawn all of these buses here. You can just spawn them with code, buddy. Whatever. Whatever. We'll let him do that. All right. Yeah, well, it's just more limiting than... And I haven't used it myself, so I don't know everything about it. But I know that Replit is more limiting than just doing it yourself on your computer with Codex or Claude Code and then publishing it via Xcode, just the normal way. Or if you're making an Android app, following the process for that. Okay, and here we are, Codex, you dummy, back to the original problem of not being able to drive. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. That's what my friend Josh was saying today, because he's been learning vibe coding. And we've been recording this video. We're still working on it. For teaching a noob how to make a Roblox game with AI. And he has found the same issues we all have vibe coding. I mean, it will make some progress and then it will walk back its own tracks and just totally mess everything up and get bugs in everything and just make it trash. So yeah, we can vibe code, but it's not perfect. Like, it will mess up its own systems and things. It will cause bugs that no human would cause in their right mind, but the throughput is still worth it. The throughput is still worth it. We'll be chanting that until the end. It's not cope, it's true. Okay, anyway. Fix this, you dummy. Fix this. Your bus no longer drives. None of them drive. Also, I can see the respawn bus button, the proximity prompt, even when I'm inside the bus driving it. You should not. You should only see that when you're outside of buses. Okay. Ooh, get to the end. I don't like that the upgrades are in the bottom right. Make the upgrades a proper UI in the middle of the screen. And make it so that there's a viewport frame in that's very decently big, that shows a bus model inside of it, and I can click and I can drag around to kind of look at it. And then make it so that the upgrades kind of have a line that point to what you're changing. Like if it's grip, it points to the tires with a little line, like a frame that acts like a line. Or the suspension, it kind of points to where that would be on the model. So kind of simulate like what the upgrades are doing visually inside that viewport frame, just for a kind of cool upgrades UI that's kind of unique and no longer basic. And make it look really fancy. There's your prompting trick of the day. Tell Claude Code or Codex to make it look extremely fancy or extremely detailed. For some reason, it just works to make it better. UI looks bad, make it extremely fancy. Builds look bad, make it extremely detailed. That's the prompting trick I found, yes, over months. The simplest things work. All right, he's working away. The clanker is working away. Parthy guidelines for Claude Code are a must. Yeah, I should probably look into those, let's be honest. Let's see. I'll replace the basic upgrades panel with a centered inspection style upgrade screen. Okay. I put it on medium, so it'll be a little faster. 5.5 is a really good model. I can't lie. I still can't drive. What is this guy yapping about? Are there any bugs in the output? Let's see. No, that's from a plugin. That's not from this. So no. Okay, maybe it is working because these are floating, which is weird. Oh, it is working. Just they're floating. That's kind of strange. The bus is still randomly leaping. Okay. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, oh, boom. Okay. Dead. Crazy. Like, what object does it think is there that makes the bus float? Like, what is going on? And why does it only float up here versus on the grass? Why is it still hippity-hoppeting? Like, this is weird. The buses are still leaping and randomly jumping. And also I noticed that when I respawn, it still puts me into a bus. It should not. It should just spawn me normally, and then I get into a bus manually by pressing E. See, so my hands are off the key. Oh, what? Momentum's supposed to work. I want it where if my hands are off the keyboard, it keeps going. So my hands are off the keyboard. It kept going until it hit that fence. It's supposed to keep going. Let's see. Because I really want this to be like momentum. I don't really do anything, and it keeps on driving. Whoa, what is it even doing? You gotta love these bugs, man. It shouldn't float in midair stationary, and also if it's leaping, there could be changes in angle downhill. Yeah. Check that, Codex. There could be changes in angle downhill. Wow, this is going to be the most botched prompt ever because it just caught everything I said. Okay. It looks broken. Yeah, it does. I don't know why it hasn't been able to fix that issue. I think it's not understanding what the issue is because I'm not understanding what the issue is. And that's the problem with doing this stuff is if you don't know what the issue is yourself, you're going to send the agent into that same ambiguity. And now it's just in this loop of trying to figure something out that neither of you know what the actual problem is. So like you're saying, it's changing the angle. That's probably it. I don't think AI is that reliable yet. I think you need to code a bit. Yeah, maybe. Shall I take a look? Drive bus, air service, bus spawn service. Let's see, gameplay. Run manager, drive bus, bootstrap. Bus vehicle controller. Is that the script it's editing? I think it is. I don't know everything about making vehicles. I don't know everything about coding them. Let's see. I don't know what's going on in this script, to be honest with you. Let's see. Get step climb assist. Let's see. Update suspension. You know, it might be the suspension, like honestly. What I would be looking at here, because I didn't write this code. I don't know how all of it works. What I would be looking at is how often some of these things are being run, which I'm sure if it's a vehicle, you know, you're running a lot of checks very often. So if the suspension is constantly rechecking, it could be kind of screwing that up. So I could be saying, another potential issue is the suspension, right? The suspension might be kind of changing very often, and also being too sensitive to nothing. Yeah, let's see. I'll throw that out there to it. Let's see here. How long have I been working on the game, and what game is it? This is drive a bus 9,999 miles down a hill. I've only been working on it like 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, and only for a few hours at a time. So not a crazy amount of time. I honestly haven't touched it in a little bit, but it's just a really simple concept that I have going. And we're fighting Codex to get it to make the simple mechanics work properly so I can actually move on to bigger and better things. And now I won't even drive. Thanks a lot, Codex. Wow. Absolutely unbelievable. Suspension for hoverboards, it looks like, but then the wheels would have to have suspension springs and dampers holding them on the bus with axles. Yeah. Well, it's all simulated, right? It's not using real Roblox physics. It's coding it itself. So all of this is a custom system. It's not using springs or anything built into Studio. So it's all based on math. And that math has to be correct. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Looking good for only a couple hours. Well, somewhat. Well, thanks. I mean, it's not, it's definitely early. It's definitely not fleshed out at all. I'd like to add more content. I would like Codex to get the bus system working. Hello, Codex. But yeah, thank you. I mean, I'm gonna keep working on this one. I think I'm gonna continue vibe code streaming. Like, I haven't ever really done that. This is the first time. I just kind of shifted into this, and honestly, I'm happy with doing that. So we'll do that. I am reusing some things, so this isn't all from scratch. Like, these models are from another game. I grabbed the buildings from something that Claude Code built for another game, where it built a city for me, and I reused the buildings. They're basic buildings, but I think they're good for that purpose. And then these I made in another game called Steal a Bus, and I was like, I have nice bus models here that I made in that game. Why don't I reuse them? So that's what I ended up doing. Let's see. It's trying to run a play test. I'm going to run a test of my own. I love MCP. Why won't you make Codex build a simulator game? Yeah, I could do that. It's just, here's the thing. If I build a simulator, right, I need models, and I need the assets, and I need a nice map. And I don't want to build. I spent like half the stream explaining that, how I don't want to build. But yeah, I don't want to build, man. So I'm gonna look into tomorrow, like getting a pre-built map or free models. So I'm gonna live stream tomorrow. I don't know why the hell I haven't done this before. Live stream me doing vibe coding and development, but it's about time. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna pick this up tomorrow. We've hit our goal, so we will be reviewing your games. So thank you, Lua Pilot, for your latest donation. Could you briefly give Lua Pilot a try? It is a Roblox plugin in beta that connects to a web app. Yes, I can. I'm going to add you on Discord because I think you sent me a friend request, and I know you're on there, so I'll add you. Do you think Codex is better than Claude? For some things, yeah. For some things, no. My friend Josh can tell you all about how he thinks that it is. Because Codex, it's fast. It's fast. It can be very reliable on things. And they have their own things where they make hiccups. They have mistakes. You know, they're better at different things. What can I say? I mean, I know that Claude is definitely better at UI and at visual stuff. But yeah, Lua Pilot, appreciate the dono. Yes, I will give it a try. We might try it tomorrow on stream. And it's funny. It's funny, guys. I got to say this. it is funny how you guys have all decided to pop in. Now the viewers are going up right as we're like, we're going to close this thing out. Great timing, you new people. Great timing. Absolutely outstanding. Standing ovation. No, I'm playing. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. We're going to continue. We're going to actually stream so much. We've already been doing daily streams. We're on a streak. Daily plus near daily streams before that. Q&As, all that stuff. But I think I'm going to be shifting out of just doing Q&As. We'll keep those going. Q&As on Discord. We're going to do a review your streams. I mean, review your game stream tomorrow. We're going to do more vibe coding. We're going to do vibe coding tomorrow, so I'm going to stream that probably for several hours. If I'm not recording with Josh our video. So it might not be until the afternoon when I'm streaming that. And then Q&A, we might do another Q&A tomorrow. But yeah, we're going to be doing hours of live streaming tomorrow. Hours of it. So catch you tomorrow. Yeah, man. Have a good night. Do you do daily Q&As? Yes, I have been doing daily Q&As. We're going to be expanding into other types. So go ahead and join the Discord below in Smarty Devs. We will be having classes on every Saturday. They are live. Those are separate from live streams. We have community members hosting those. We just had a guy named BilbZZ give us a very in-depth, very, very, very nice class on modeling. And if you want to catch the free classes in Smarty Devs, you can join there. Some of them will be paid in the future. They are free right now. No other Discord, no other dev community is doing anything like this. You can ask instructors live questions for free. So that will be something to look for on top of these Q&As. The Q&As are not classes. They're separate, but we do them. You can raise your hand on Discord and ask me verbally. And yeah, it's all free stuff. So to the haters, this is a scam. What are you even talking about, dude? We're giving you free stuff. There's nothing to grab shekels out of you from. There's not a single thing in this realm of what we're talking about. Yes, I do sell. I have a scripting secrets course, but that is not what this is about. This is about giving you free classes on Discord. None of them are paid right now. They will be. Some will be in the future, but most of them will always be free. This is about free Q&As, it's about free information, it's about free streams, free entertainment, free stuff that people want to see. So, yeah, man. I will catch you guys next time. Does Josh have a channel? No, but I will tell him to start one. Josh, you better start a channel immediately. Yes, I will be telling my friend, Josh, to start a channel. We're both friends with O West. He has a channel. If you want to see one of my friends' channels, OWEST. He's pretty big. He makes Tomodachi Life videos and stuff right now. He's like a Nintendo YouTuber. He came on and he's very anti-AI. He debated me. If you want to see, just go a few streams back. OS came on. He started debating me about AI. So if you want to see me and him kind of have a quote-unquote debate, you can watch that. But yeah, catch you guys next time. And yeah, I think all the introductory stuff should be free and advanced courses should be paid for. Yeah, and you're completely right. That's how we're doing it. So catch you guys later. We got a lot of stuff going.